Ali, 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 yeah. I praise Allah for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank Allah for His blessings. Ali was the circle 7. I praise Allah for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank Allah for His blessings. Ali was the circle 7. I praise Allah for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank Allah for His blessings. Ali was the circle 7. I praise Allah for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank Allah for His blessings. Ali was the circle 7. I praise Allah for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank Allah for His blessings. Ali was the circle 7. I praise Allah for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank Allah for His blessings. Ali was the circle 7.
Islam, Islam, Islam. Want to rise upon the 7 within the circle of justice, mercy, love, and right, and give praises to the great God, Allah, our Father God, Allah, and honors to His holy prophet, honors to our holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, El Hajj, Sharif Abdul Ali, that is. Give honors to our Moorish kin once again, here, there, and everywhere, and therefore honors to all of you who are continuously honoring yourselves by being yourselves. Give honors to our Grand National Seal, Grand National Emblem, National Flag, Divine Constitution and bylaws. And honors to all of you who are indeed a living manifestation and personification of everything our holy prophet and the ancestors brought to make us a nation. I want to welcome you to another late night library session. I'm your host instructor, Dr. Shahid Imani Mohadi Shazbaz, and my ancient Comedian high name being the same as Dr. Shedawa Minti El Mohajid Shepsuel. Have a grand drawing to bring forth, family, most powerful indeed. And I want to give honors to our beloved brother Born Dog, checking in, brother American. Honors to you, family. Islamism without the schism. I see the brother Born Dog say, y'all was looking for me on the topic of the Moors. Oh, you was talking about the unscrambled mind. Oh, yeah, they should have called me over there, man. That's my elder there, man. I love Brother Walter Williams. He have his opinions on certain measures. So, I never push back against the elder, on his particular measure, because he one that came before me and I stand upon his shoulders. However, I was on there one time and he paid homage to the information I was bringing out there. That's another reason why I give honors to him. And we have to look at it. All of us have our own forms of research. Like most of our elders, they talk pretty good about the Moors, but they have different of opinion based on what they was reading. I'm one that went through different definitions and really dug for the information, because I was specifically, pulling up all these things and I wanted to show it to our family. That's how I came up with what I came up with. But I give honors to that elder. I stand with him And I definitely would have wanted to be on that conversation. I hope they bring him back again. I'm surprised Sister Freedom didn't reach out to me. She normally do for that one, born dog. You know, it's certain things that, like I say, for example, it's my duty to really come out here and put the information out in relation to the name, and that's why I showed our family what I've showed them. Not per se just dealing with the fact of being who I am as a Moor, but so that our people can get the truth and they'll be able to go to it anytime they want to. And that's why I'm trying to deal with everything along the line of clarity now to make sure y'all can find these things as well when we go into them. This is going to be a grand discussion tonight. I'm dealing with, you know, Sheikh Hajj, Sharif Abdul Ali, the high name of Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and Sheikh Ahmad, 2 arrows basically shot from one bow. So I want to give honors to our brother Born Dog. And yeah, brother, we're gonna give you the truth here. And all we say is, we don't expect one to fall heads over here for the truth, but we're gonna make sure you well equipped, because I promise you, you take this information we giving you, you ain't gonna have nobody trying to come at you sideways, good brother. Not if you study it diligently, because once you put the facts out there, can't nobody buck against the fact. They might not like the facts. Our brother Born Dog done seen me go out there many times just putting the measures out there. And a lot of people naysayers, but they don't want to get in the ring and have a discussion. And I'm giving honors to you too, brother. You say I'm new to being a Moor. I come from the tradition of Shia Islam. I want to build with you. I have a lot of inquiries and questions. Where can I contact you? My contact is actually in this page here. You can email me, at egyptianadept@gmail.com, and we can build from there. But there is pretty much not a whole lot of difference between Shia Islam and Islamism that we demonstrate in the Moorish paradigm, because I do know that the Shiite brothers, they are more esoteric in their approach. They deal with the teachings of Tasawwuf. So it's easy for us to have a foundation to build upon. And, yeah, like you say, I've been listening to Noble Drew Ali teaching directly confirm the 12 Imam. Yeah, that's true. It's certain Shiite brothers will tell you that Prophet Noble Drew Ali is the second coming of Ali. I ran into some brothers that would say that because they understand we talking about the spirit. And in the doctrine of Shiism, they deal with the teachings of occultation. The Imam. I was just talking the other night about the concept of the Mahdi. And speaking on Prophet Noble Drew Ali being the first to come here, he was a rightly guided one. I even have a hadith that's dedicated to Ali, speaking of him being the gateway of knowledge, and, I expressed that in the lights of Prophet Noble Drew Ali, as he came to our people. Ali and Fatima, most definitely were the bloodline that most of our people that can be traced back to as well, through their sons Hassan and Hussein. This is where your Fatimid dynasty came from, through that lineage. So we share the blood of Ali. Yes, sir. Ibn Abu Talib. There's a reason that once he was Christian noble, he was given the title Ali. Yes, sir. That's right. That's exactly right. Yes, sir. Through the Fatimid dynasty. And then the other ones to come behind that. That's where the Moors, find their birth at. Very, very powerful information. Unbeknownst to many, So yeah, we got some grand drawing to bring on the manifest. Our title tonight is again Sheikh Hajj Sharif Abdul Ali, and also Sheikh Ahmad, 2 arrows, 1 bow. I could have said, like I said earlier, shot from the same bow. 2 arrows, 1 bow. In other words, they come from the same source. We were speaking about the old Canaanite temple last night. Yes, sir. You're gonna have a whole lot of truth by the time we get up off this thing. So yeah, we were dealing with the old Canaanite temple as established by Prophet Noble Ali. We also went into the history. If you go back, in some of the measures that I put out here dealing with the Sidra people of West Africa coming out of Senegambia under Sheikh Ahmadu Bamba, who was the founder of the Muridiya order of Tasawwuf, founded by our people, because we know this was the type of teaching that went into Africa. It was the teaching dealing with the 12 imams, the teachings that were dealing with Tasawwuf, Islamic mysticism, all of those teachings are what caused Africa to be what it is now, flourishing. Spiritual teachings, as our brother John Henry Clark would call them, as opposed to the political doctrines that are being pushed today, on the Arabism. We would often hear the Arabs say, well, nationality shouldn't be focused on. They shouldn't be talked about. This is what they would say about nationality, but yet they say they come from Prophet Muhammad lineage. So if we can't talk about our nationality, they shouldn't be able to talk about theirs neither, huh? Yes, sir. Ifran. In the school of thought that we demonstrate as Moors, good brother, coming from Quran, because the word Shia is mentioned in Quran too, but we draw from the principle of Sibagatala, Sibagatala, immersion into the divine wisdom, by way of, the Sabian doctrine, which actually ties into a lot of the history of Prophet Muhammad Ibn Abdul as well. I know you're familiar with the 5 purified ones, the Pajtan Pak, Alabait, Prophet Muhammad Ali, Fatima, and also Hassan and Hussein, who are under the shade of the sword or the scimitar, of Islam and Islamism, symbol, scimitar, and the star in that family. Jibril is the one that passed Muhammad his scimitar. Yes, sir. Yeah, brother Born Dog. We putting it all out here, brother. That's what we working on right now. This one right here gonna probably be a little new to you as well, but this is very important, because that brother that you see to the right there was the founder of a movement. He came up out of the Canaanite temple too. See, around 1919, there were those who came up out, of the Canaanite temple when Noble Drew Ali had got fed up with the ones that was hard-headed over there in New Jersey, and he said that the Midwest was closer to Islam, and he migrated to Chicago, around, like I say, roughly 1922, 1923. He may have still been there according to certain sources, but, pretty much it said that he was pretty much up out of there by 22, around the time, that he had ended up getting up out of that little bind them Romans tried to put him in over there. But when he left, even prior to, due to the schisms, because the Canaanite temple was established 1913, there were different spin off, so to speak, or offshoots. One of the groups that came out of there was most definitely the Moor Zionist temple that a lot of your Hebrew Israelites come from. We spoke about that last night. But also the teachings that were brought through the brother Sheikh Ahmadine. He was also exposed to the teachings of the Canaanite temple. And so he broke off and went to do his own thing, and he established what he called the Fahami temple, the divine understanding, so to speak. He also called it at one time the Ethiopian temples of Islam. So that was his particular movement. He also found his way in the ranks of the Ahmadiyya movement. This is where he, ended up taking on the name Sheikh Ahmadi. So yeah, when we get into this special drawing and look at these two brothers, that's why I say they two arrows shot from the same bow, because he was one of the many who actually left. And when he left in 1919 to establish his portion after Noble Drew Ali had made his move, because he established before that time period what we call the Moorish Divine and National Movement in 1916. And then after that time, like I say, he went on, a few years later out of New Jersey into Chicago. He actually went a couple of places because he put temples up in many different places. This brother basically had been part and parcel of the Canaanite temple. We had a history on our brother. I'm going to see if I can pull this up, see if they have it in the Google, because I think our brother should have some history right here. And then I go into the rest of it. He should have some history on here. Let me see, did they give him? Let's see. I may have to pull it up under the name of his movement. If not, I still got my other information right here. They got a lot of websites up here, so that's pretty good too. Nothing wrong with that. So what we gonna do? We can do that. We can go right here. Let me open up and share real quick. It's a better way to go to their website. See, we got to know where all these people were connected at. Then we understand why it's necessary for us to have unity. Once we understand that we already were connected, it's easier to unite our people, no matter where they may be. You see? So let me go here real quick. And we'll go to their page. Because I didn't see a wiki page. That's okay. It's good to go to the authentic source. As you can see, you see the seal here that I actually have up here. Fahami. It's the name of the new Negro Kemite culture founded on the background of our ancestor worship. Our due reverence for our noble ancestors and ancient and divine whose wisdom graced the land of Egypt, Ethiopia, Arabia, Chaldea, Canaan, and the entire torrid zone and torrid belt of the mystic name Ethiopia. Fahami became clear to Paul N. Johnson in the year 1919 in the city of St. Louis, Missouri. Since our calendar year begins December the 21st, it says we take our founding date to be December 21st, 1919, and thus Fahami will celebrate its 100th anniversary on December the 21st, 2019. There are Fahami members all over the United States, and efforts are underway to reacquaint and reaffiliate all those members at one point prior to the Prophet's death in July the 14th, 1954. There were active temples in Missouri, New York, Ohio, Michigan, Kansas, Texas, Illinois, and others. And again, we give honors to this brother because there are most definitely some ties between, him and his works as they relate to a lot of the Moors. We got this stuff and we're going to pull it up in a second. So I just wanted to give you that history. There are a lot of people that are part and parcel of his particular movement as well, demonstrating honors to our family. They have a universal appeal in their doctrine and documentation. And they also give honors to Prophet Noble Drew Ali. He does in his works. And those are some of the things that I'll be pointing out, and just highlighting again the connection, between this brother and the prophet, so to speak. So some of the aspects where we were able to see the connection is the teaching. If you look at this seal that the brother has here, you see the pyramids. You also see, what we call the quadratic circle. You see, if you pay attention, that's really a pyramid inside of the circle, so to speak. But, nevertheless, you see the Sphinx. You see a hand coming out, almost like reaching out for a hand clasp of unity, date palm, and the brother has his seal here, Fahami above all, like Ilaha Illara, right? Anath, Amun, Asar, Ta, Orikim, and ISIS. I know he said Islam means Isis El Amun. I like the way the brother teach. And if you notice, look at the direction of his crescent. It's actually in the last quarter. So when we look at this demonstration, it's actually showing a waning process, so to speak. So go figure, so to speak, right? Go figure. When you look at this particular drawing here, there's a lot of symbolism in here. We see the wings of the Bahadet of ancient Kemet. And in this particular drawing of these wings, we know it represents wisdom, knowledge. He's talking about, see the word say Fahami Khatam. Y'all heard me say Khatam means seal. That's basically what that's saying, the great seal of Fahami. And I see the brother is actually using, for language, it looked like he's using the Sabian alphabet here. Yeah, he didn't even use Egypt. Looked like he's using the Sabian, the oldest alphabet of Arabia. I see the Ankh here too. So the brother got a lot of symbolism here. He got a lot of symbolism here. So let me go a little further here. Get into this drawing. Again, honors to our family. There's a lot of symbols in there. Brother Bondog say I have at one time. I'm going to keep coming back too so I can answer these questions and engage with y'all too, family. It says, I have a question. At one time, there was many Moors and lines. What year it started to decline in number and unity in my research? After Noble Drew Ali died, brother, 1929, all hell broke loose. And then, ones got scattered abroad. It was crazy. Now, if you're talking about, the ancient Moors, the more medieval Moors, we talking about 1492. When they started fighting each other, instead of paying attention to the adversary, they was flanked and they took off the count. So both times, the Moors fell in their glory in the, more ancient time and in the modern time. 1929 definitely is when, the modern Moors in our time fell. So yeah, we're going to go further into some more background on this brother, P. Nathaniel Johnson. I actually have a lot of information here I want to show you right here, because I had, for years, I've been out here giving honors to this brother. Why? Because even though he departed and built his own thing, he gave honors to Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and it's evident by what he taught, that he basically took the adept teachings, the teachings that were dealing with Egypt, that he was inspired by, and he pretty much brought it into the public, and Here's one brother giving a rundown. This is the most you will hear about his biography. Everybody had this, include myself. I have this information here. And this brother here stated the Honorable Paul Nathaniel Johnson, Fahimi Prophet of Amun Ra. That's what he was called, the Prophet of Amun Ra, a master mystic, was born June the 10th, 1888, 2 years before Prophet Noble Drew Ali. In Hempstead County, Arkansas, he is of African Arab ancestry. You know, for some reason, they mention that a lot of our leaders, you know, was of African and mixed birth. They even try to say Prophet Noble Drew Ali was African and Indian. East Indian, I read that. But anyway, it says he attended and graduated from Philander Smith College in Little Rock, Arkansas. Soon after he met Dr. Mufti Muhammad Sadiq of Kadain, Punjab, India. Dr. Mufti was the first Muslim missionary sent to America represent Hazrat Mirza Bashir Uddin Mahmud Ahmad, head of the Ahmadiyya movement in Islam, which was founded by Mirza Ghulam Ahmad and the world promised Messiah of the prior age. It's very important that I stop here, you know, because this was around 1923 when they really began to raise their heads in Black Bottom in Detroit. We mentioned this. Deuce Muhammad Ali was in Detroit at that particular time. Farad Muhammad was actually there under the alias Fuad Mehmed Bey. You know, also you had the United Muslim Association, the Red Cross Society, you know, which was more of a Masonic type of demonstration, but Islamic. They had a couple of different groups over there, a lot of Syrian and Turkish Muslims. So this was around the time when that particular movement came off the manifest. That's like 4 years after he had established his Fahimi temples. What we found out, you know, as we get deeper into this, there was connections or overlap between a lot of these different leaders. You see? But anyway, also the Quran, the first Quran in English that we had came from the Ahmadiyya movement. Maulana Muhammad. It's the first Quran that was being used by the NOI. The same claims about the eschatology as it relates to, you know, the Messiah and the Mahdi, you know, the emphasis at which they demonstrated that in the Ahmadiyya movement. You know, many feel that our NOI family was influenced heavily by that doctrine. You know, being that Farad took from many different elements in building his doctrine to reach the people, because he understood where they had came from, but he also understood where they needed to go. So that's why the Mahdi Messiah became a heavy emphasis being demonstrated in the NOI at that particular time, because our people was moving off of Messiah hopes real heavy, coming up out of that biblical narrative, the church and so forth and so on. So nevertheless, it goes on. It says, Dr. Mufti inquired as to how the Honorable Paul N. Johnson understood and knew the things he knew. See, he had already been exposed to the teachings of the prophet prior to meeting them. And he knew, and Paul's response was, I don't know how, I just know. At this point, he was offered a job teaching Islam and recruiting for the Ahmadiyya movement in Islam. Given the name Ahmadin by the Ahmadiyya movement, the Honorable P.N. Johnson became the first ordained Muslim minister in St. Louis, Missouri. His title was Sheikh, which indicates special religious authority. He also appeared to have been a Mason, an operative Mason. It says from 1 to 96 degrees, the true shrine under Dr. Suleiman Muhammad. Same brother I was talking about last night. They're saying that Brother P. Nathaniel Johnson was probably a part of Suleiman's movement as well. That's probably how he met the prophet as well. You know, who knows? But anyway, we see that connection being made. It says, hence, he too were a member of the Canaanite temple until 1919. That's what we was talking about. The alleged year that Professor Drew, later Prophet Noble Drew Ali, left Newark, New Jersey to move to Chicago, Illinois. Sheikh Ahmadine, Honorable Paul Johnson, in one of the Ahmadiyya magazines from that time, it says there's a picture of him wearing a fez. It says a headpiece of the Shriners. It says while in the fez may be in fact reflecting the North African heritage that Johnson claimed, it is noteworthy that in Johnson's own breakoff group called the Fahimi Temples of Islam and Culture, the fez was a common headpiece for male members, and one member wore what is clearly a Shriner's fez. It says, and the teachings explicitly stated we are the true Shriners. He is a revealer and the author of the Holy Fahimi Gospel, the Holy Revealed Bible for the Black race, and several other booklets, poems, songs, essays, and following the questions and answers reflect a Moorish/Masonic Shriner overtone connection. So this is showing what Nathaniel Johnson was definitely saying, that he had been in the shrines from what we can see. You know, he probably had some connection by going through the same movement we talked about last night, from what they gave in the history dealing with the 96 Rite, you know, and also when they see questionnaires, for some reason, they always think Masonic. But questionnaires, you know, existed long before Masonic teachings. You know, they're called catechisms. You know, the Roman Catholic Church had catechisms that they used to teach. However, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, that was the reason why he created the Moorish 101s, to teach our people by their own catechism instead of dealing with indoctrination under Christianity. He didn't do it based off of Masonry. He did it based more off of the way that they was indoctrinating our people, you know, under the Roman Catholicism catechisms. So it says, question, what is Fahimi? Answer, it is an understanding. It is also the name of the new Afro-American culture founded on the background of our ancestor worship with due reverence for our noble ancestors, ancient and divine, whose wisdom graced the lands of Egypt, Ethiopia, Chaldea, Arabia, Canaan. So you see the Canaan teaching in there. It says entire torrid zone, the torrid belt of the mystic name of Ethiopia. Question, who were the first Muslims? Answer, the ancient Ethiopians, the Hamites and Canaanites from ancient Africa, which was originally called Ham. The ancient Hamites from what is now, what is known as Ethiopia and Egypt, long before the Arab occupation. See, I was talking about this here, you know, the ancient Cushites of Arabia. That's what he's touching on here. Same stuff that I showed y'all before. And you can see how much his teachings reflect the same thing of what Prophet Noble Drew Ali taught. So though the brother went on to do his own thing, he definitely held on to some of the teachings, you know, that Prophet Noble Drew Ali taught, with the exception of teaching the adept teachings, you know, so to speak, openly when it comes to dealing with Kemet or Egypt. You know, this brother did that back then, you know, and it's talking about also the mention of the Mecca Medina temple we was talking about last night on the Suleiman, you know, him having a connection to that. You know, like I said, that's possibly how he linked up and ended up meeting the prophet. We can see the overlap there. I'm going to go into some of the doctrine in a minute, show you a few more reflections of our good brother. He got a lot of literature. A lot of brothers still pushing his movement. This is one of the brothers here. You know, another one of his brothers here. You know, you can see a whole bunch of reflections of our brother. You know, I got this here. We're going to go into some of this in a little bit. The divine understanding, the key to all Bible's culture in the holy book, the book of Ham, Al-Kim. You know, the brother was dealing with etymology back then too. You know, so just showing what they got on their own and what they put out here. All this here. We're going to go into some history on the brother as we can find it. Here it is again, the divine understanding, of the brother. And it's always good to see where our people are one at. And in this book, he mentions Prophet Noble Drew Ali. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go here since they got our page up. I actually already got it open, so I click here in our government page. And under the lost tribes of Ali, I have a lot of this information up here. Showing everybody know we showed y'all that Elijah and them was in here, and a couple of more people. We showed you last night, Suleiman. We went over his history, and we went over a lot of these different clippings right here, but this is on our website. All this we went over last night. We didn't go into the website here, but this is the information on our brother here that I have. In our state, Sheikh Ahmadine, the brother Sheikh Ahmadine, aka P. Nathaniel Johnson. Let me make sure the screen is shared. Okay, yeah, it's shared. Okay, yeah. Brother Sheikh Ahmadine, aka P. Nathaniel Johnson, is said to have been associated with the Canaanite Temple of Number 1913, pardon self. It is said he departed when the Prophet departed. He founded the Fahimi Temple of Islam in 1919. In fact, his Egyptian adept teachings are witness to this as well. Remember, during the years of the Canaanite Temple, Prophet Noble Drew Ali was known as Professor Drew, the Egyptian adept. In the Illinois newspaper clip here, and you will see that Isaac, brother I Cook Bay, which was one of my chairman's teachers, adept teachers, was called the Grand Governor of the Fahimi Temple. So it's actually linked, to Cook Bay, who was made adept and given the charter to Temple 13 in Baltimore. He had some affiliation with the Fahimi Temple. I got the newspaper article on that. We're going to get into that in a second. It says, though this could be a mistake, I say brother Cook Bay was a follower of Noble Drew Ali until his very demise. However, we can see in the article that the Fahimi and Moorish community were close to each other. In his Fahimi Gospel, the book, Sheikh Ahmadine referred to Prophet Noble Drew Ali as one of the saints. So I said Islamism. These questions and answers reflect a Moorish overtone. I say where his successors teach what is Fahimi, and I just read this a few minutes ago. It is understanding, and it is also the name of the new Afro-American culture, founded on the background of our ancestor worship with due reverence for our noble ancestors, ancient and divine. It says, whose wisdom graced the lands of Egypt, Ethiopia, Chaldea, Arabia, Canaan, and the entire Torrid zone, the Torrid belt of the mystic name of Ethiopia, who were the first Muslims. The ancient Ethiopians, the Hamites, and Canaanites, all from ancient Africa, which was originally called Ham. Ancient Hamites from what is known as Ethiopia and Egypt long before Arab occupation. So, honors to the brother again for pointing out the Cushite origins. And here's that newspaper article I'm talking about right here. See, it says services Sunday for Mr. Edna Bay. Funeral services are to be at 3 p.m. near Memorial Chapel. This is dealing with some funeral service. Mr. Edna Bay, 73 of 222 Hickory Street in Dual Coin. Brother I Cook Bay, Grand Governor of the Fahimi Temple. It says will officiate. It says burial will be of the IOOF Cemetery, looking like International Order of Odd Fellows Cemetery, Du Quoin. It says also Miss Bay died Tuesday. It says in the Marshall Browning Hospital, Du Quoin. It says she was born June 14, 1895 in Du Quoin. It says in the daughter of Charles and Anna Wood Smith. She married Robert Bay in Memphis, Tennessee in October the 8th, 1932. Miss Bay was a member of the Fahimi Temple and the Moorish Science Temple. So basically, she was affiliated with both. Now I see what's going on here. It makes sense. And it could have been the same with our Cook Bay brothers. They probably attended some of those measures while they were demonstrating with the prophet, and this having to properly do with, them already knowing the brother, dealing with the prophet. So it says she leaves her husband. It says in a half sister, Miss Gertrude Wade of Abdul. It says, and friends may call it at the funeral home after 6 p.m. Saturday. So this was one of the many clippings, in reference to showing a connection between some reputable Moors, I Cook Bay and G Cook Bay. They actually were called Saint I Cook Bay and Saint G Cook Bay, the two saints. It ain't strange because, that's a term that was used by the brother P. Nathaniel. He referred to Prophet Noble Drew Ali as a saint. In fact, here's one of the excerpts from the book, the divine understanding. I would classify as saints some of the following. And he was dealing with principles of reincarnation as well. Atum, Kim, he looked at as Booker T. Washington and Abraham Lincoln. Queens T, Neferah, and Balkis Makudia, Osar, Ori, Frederick Douglass, Menelik, Nat Turner, Nat Turner, Menelik right here, Ori, Frederick Douglass, Menelik, Nat Turner, Dred Scott, it says in John Brown, George Carver, Ta, Isis, right, Phyllis Wheatley, Harriet Beecher, Stowe, Paul Lawrence Dunbar, Anatol of Arabia, Bilal, Marcus Garvey, William Crowder, Richard Allen, Asap Lukeman, Cadmus, William Christian, Benjamin Banneker, Toussaint L'Ouverture. This brother was paying homage to everybody. And then he's seen them as reincarnation of Enoch, Idris, Khufu, Cephas, Amun Ra, Drew Ali. So he's seen a connection between the prophet and Amun Ra as well, Hathor, Love, Joy, Ashetta, Neith, Amenti, Cebu, and many others, including Andromeda and Cassiopeia, which is the constellation. So this brother, he was definitely next level with his information for that time period way back then. Thinking like that. He wasn't nothing to be played with when it comes to his information. And it was around the same time that these brothers, I told y'all, the Moorish Zion Temple came up. You see, it's 1919, Newark, New Jersey. New York City, pardon himself. Rabbi Matthews and Mordecai Herman, Rabbi Herman, Rabbi Ford, who was also a member of Marcus Garvey movement. So what I can see is that a lot of Garvey's followers ended up going into the teachings of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Both his Canaanite movement and the one when he ended up going to Chicago and established the MST of A after he established the Morris Divine and National Movement. So it's a lot of overlap between these brothers. I'm showing y'all this because this is the bridge between us as a people. At the very root of these bodies, we was one, coming from one source. Now that we have so many different isms and schisms, that's why you always hear us say Islamism without the schism. Peace without all the confusion is what we saying. But nevertheless, we give honors to this brother. See, it don't take much to pay homage. Unlike some of our people don't want people to know that they teachers studied, at the feet of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. This brother gave it up. He let you know he recognized Noble Drew Ali as a prophet. Though he went out and he became the first prophet of Amun, he still recognized Prophet Noble Drew Ali, as Amun as well. So go figure, family. He was dealing with the principle of the transition of power of one God man to the next. So this knowledge, when it hit the scene, man, it exploded, man, and scattered seeds all over the place. That's what we see in here. So the question is, why are we beefing with each other? Why are we beefing? I'm showing y'all the whole breakdown of this stuff. Y'all getting exclusive information, that people try to put in books, and, they want to fleece you. I'm giving it to you just right here, So let's go deeper into this, because I got a lot of clippings, dealing with this brother. I'm going to show you in a second, Let me see here. All right, yeah, we can actually go into some of these things now, because I have them in two places. I have this information in two places. Give me 1 second here. Let's see something. I'm going to stop sharing, and then I can probably go into the other information. Okay. This is where I want to go at first. This is my source material. Y'all didn't know newspaper was source material, did you? Yeah, our family got to look that up too. They can go and see, when we get into this information. So this one is this is one of the oldest one that I have right here. And this is St. Louis, Missouri, dealing with the brother 1923. It says 2-word Mohammedan, editor of the St. Louis Star. It says, I read with interest the letter of Mr. Tiziones. It says in the last Sunday Star, and in regards to thereto, will say that it never pays to abandon the holy faith of Islam in order to gain the goodwill of others, whether they be Jew, Christian, Hindu, or Buddhist. My dear brother, you should have stuck to your guns by all means. This would have proven that you were an honest soul. It says, and those whom you thought were your enemies would have proven to have been your dearest friends. When you apostatized, it merely betrayed the weakness on your part. It says, and revealed your dishonesty. The Holy Quran says, how shall God guide one who, after they had believed and bore witness that the Holy Prophet was true, and after that clear proof of his mission had reached them, and they disbelieved? God guided not the people who transgress. It says, as for those who say they do not believe anything, take their sayings with the usual grain of salt, for you will find that there is something hidden under their egotism, their vanity. It says in their bombast and basso, they do believe. Then it says, I advise you, ask Allah for forgiveness, mercy, and return to the strength and path of Islam. Be a good Muslim in peace of mind, and will certainly be yours, and you will find many friends. Remember the slogan of the faith, La ilaha illallah, O Muhammadan Rasulullah. Sheikh Ahmad, 22nd, North Compton Avenue. Now, this is after our brother, had come into the knowledge under the Ahmadiyas, but he still had his own temple, the Fahami, even in the midst of all of that. That's why you still got people that follow his teaching now. As we could see in the symbols that he was adopting it. That crescent in the direction got a lot of meaning behind it. We're going to get into it, though. This is another one here. Let me give you, this is from July. That was for February. This is from July 23rd, 1923, in other words. This says, Negro taught Arabic by Olive Street Sheikh. Ahmad P. Nathaniel Johnson explains Muslim creed and claims 100 converts. Wow, you got 100 of them at one time? They say he was demonstrating the Arabic back then, too, in the language of the writer of the popular songs, Ahmadine, is the kind of sheikh who does his sheiking once a week, not before a movie camera, but before a devout group of Negroes, Turks, and sprinkling of whites who gather at Sheikh Ahmadine Muslim Mission in 2658 Olive Street Sunday nights to hear him preach the doctrine of Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. All praises belongs to Allah, Lord of the worlds. Ahmadine in his Arabic names. He was baptized P. Nathaniel Johnson. His father had been Hassan John Harrison Johnson, an Arab, and his mother an African woman. Okay. He was trained for the Muslim ministry in Calcutta, Indiana, and was appointed a sheikh by Dr. Mufti Muhammad Sadiq, the first Muslim missionary to America. That would be incorrect. Prophet Noble Drew Ali was the first Muslim missionary, according to all other histories, because he was teaching in 1913. Even though some of them try to say that wasn't Islam, well, certain after the Orthodox Muslims would say that the Ahmadiyya is not Islam either. But that's a whole nother topic. It says, explains his creed last night attired in ordinary street clothing with the exception of a green tarbush on his head. So he had a fez on his head. It says he conducted services for a small group of Negro men and women who listened attentively to his strange creed. It says after a short reading from the Quran, he began his sermon explaining as he went the ideals and beliefs of Muhammadan, and telling of his desire to spread the word in America. There's but one, it says, and the same God of all ages, all countries, and all nations, who through his grace and mercy sends the prophets, sacred guides, and holy reformers. Such was Zoroaster of Persia, Confucius of China, Jesus of Palestine, and Master Prophet Muhammad of Arabia. Sound like me, the same measures Prophet Noble Drew Ali was using when he spoke of Jesus, Confucius, I meant to say Buddha, Muhammad. Yeah. Nathaniel Johnson was drawing the same way. It says, but we must no worship any of them. It should be not worship any of them. A lot of misprint over here. Worship God alone. Christ is worshiped, it says, by many as the Son of God. He is but a prophet. He did not die on the cross, and he was taken down from it, revived, and carried, it says, to a little town of Surrender. I guess that's an Indian place, a shelter of refuge for Jews. So he's saying that Jesus wasn't crucified. He didn't die on the cross. But anyway, it says south of Afghanistan to the river of Indus, he lived and died full of days at the age of 130 years. His tomb is visited by thousands. We showed you the tombs, of the whole family of Jesus the other night when we showed you them ossuaries. It says various positions for prayer. After a song led by Sister Noor, which is light, the congregation stood facing the southeast, the direction of the Kaaba, the first temple of Mecca. The prayers are said in 5 different positions. After the Imam or leader says, Allahu Akbar, God is the greatest of all. The Muslims stand with both hands folded on their breasts. And next, they bend down with their hands on their knees and straighten to stand with their arms hanging. They going through the different modes of salat. Then complete prostration. It says with toes, knees, and palms. It says of hands and forehead touching the floor. The final position finds them sitting with their legs folded under their bodies and their hands on their knees. It says one set of prayers consisting of the first 4 positions, and all 5 is called one rakat. It says the converts call out their Arabic names after the final Sadiq equivalent to Amun. The congregation disbanded. The Sheikh explained, it says, to a Post-Dispatch reporter after the services that Friday is the regular day of worship for Muslims, this being the birthday of Adam Adul, who was the first prophet. It says, not the first man. It says, as many others believe, he said. Well, we can feel him on that. No color line in Islam. There is no color line in Islam. All are brothers in the sight of Allah. Our requirements of few. It says we keep up in communion with God, hold 1 month's fast during the year. During this time, we eat at night instead of in the day. Join the holy annual assembly at Mecca at least once in our lifetime and say the 5 prayers a day. The Fajr in the morning, Zuhur, it says in the afternoon, Asr, later in the afternoon, and the Maghrib at the sunset. It says, and the Isha at bedtime. It says, when we get well established here, the meetings which they will be held on Friday. It says, then we'll go through the regular Salat. I have 100 converts to the faith in St. Louis, and I have been here 6 months. I hope soon to have the necessary facilities to perform wuzu before our Salat. So we can tell Brother Pete Nathaniel Johnson was definitely, headlong with them teachings when it comes to dealing with some of the practices Orthodox deal with. Wuzu, he explained, means ablution. It is done in the following way. First, wash the hands 3 times, then gargle the water in the mouth 3 times, wash the nostrils by drawing in water, and then 3 times, and then wash the right arm and the left arm, including the elbow 3 times, then wet the hands, gently wipe them. Boy, they going through the whole motion there. It says wipe the head with 3 of the fingers each, and then with the fingers wipe the inner sides, it says, of the ears with the thumbs, and wipe their outsides. The last wipe the this is kind of hard to read. Wash the right foot, it says, and then the left, including the ankles. It says one is then ready for Salat. The Negroes present repeat the Arabic words for him or after him, and their enunciation is clear and distinct. They are asked to become acquainted with Arabic as soon as possible, and some have made progress in this. The movement is evidently directed at the American Negro. In the pamphlet published by Muslim Society, it says the Negroes are told that Christianity is a failure and cannot bring true brotherhood. It says to the, nations. There it is. It says, so now leave it alone. It says of join Islam, the real faith of universal brotherhood. Yeah, that's kind of tight. I was trying to blow it up. It wouldn't let me get it no bigger than that. Goodness gracious. Come on. So this is another one from 1935. This is the Pittsburgh Courier. Ethiopian culture, now the truth. And this is actually dealing with our brother, Pete Nathaniel Johnson. It says, Pittsburgh Courier. Dear sir, one of our great daily newspaper recently published a story about Ethiopian temples of Islam and culture, and the prophet and founder, Paul Nathaniel J. Ahmad. It says, to say the least, it says the article was looked like biased and heavy with prejudice like many other Caucasian diatribes. It says the lengthy article was the large part a gross misrepresentation of our progress for what it stands. Many unnecessary deletions were made, it says, and many false statements were inserted. Ethiopians, whether Christians or Muslims, do not eat the pork in Africa nor America. That's off the chain. And it says, for the benefit of many, it says, courier readers is interested in our work. I wish to state that the discovery by revelation by Paul J. Ahmad It says that the material, it says hell is a fact, and that the real hell of eternal fire, it says, is in the sun. This coming from a black man, it said, was a bit too scientific, for our white reporter. Therefore, he inserted a lot of prejudicial nonsense and purposely, omitted this startling discovery. This prophet's spiritual and educational program is a pain in the neck to some white publishers. Hence, their hostility towards him. Aliyah looked like it's Balkis Whaley, Ethiopian temples of Islam and culture. So we can see this is when he was really pushing his own movement, and really going out there. This is another portion here. Look like the other half. It says, the editor, Pittsburgh Carrier, a PA, dear sir, I was reading your paper of this week and saw where the Prince of Ethiopia, Abdul Joseph Muhammad, by name, was criticizing Mr. J.A. Rogers for using the word Negro. This is actually unrelated, but they talking about our brother J.A. Rogers over here. This was actually Claudius Bey. Oh, that's one of the Moors right there, Claudius Bey. That's one of the Moorish Americans. But yeah, so he basically was speaking on somebody criticizing J.A. Rogers for using the word Negro. It says, may I compliment Abdul Joseph Muhammad for the explanation he made on the word Negro. But I see he uses the word black, which has the same meaning to us as a nation of people. My people, it is time for us to wake up. We have been called Negroes, black colors in Ethiopia. That's a more for you. Since 1774 and not before. Now the truth has come about your free national names. Yep. And upon studying, I find that we are not Negroes, just as Abdul Joseph Muhammad told Mr. Rogers. It says, neither are we black, colored, or Ethiopians. It says, but we are Asiatics and the descendants of the original Moors. It says, who are our forefathers. And it says, now, as the fire has been started, let us keep it burning and eliminate those names that have been keeping us out of every place of recognition and go back to our creeds and principles. It says, where we will be recognized. Yours truly, Claudius Bey. Spoken like a true Moorish American Muslim. Same teaching of the prophet, but it's part of the same article, dealing with the Fahami. I think the European done that on purpose. But anyway, this is another one from May 1926, which it should actually, no, you know what? I think that's right on point. Well, it should have been before that. This should have been there. Thought I had them all in order. Excuse that portion. It's all right. And I just deleted that one by mistake. Let's see what it do. Put it back in there. Okay. Just for sake if I have to go back to it. So it's all right. But anyway, this one from May 1926. This was also dealing with St. Louis. Muslim congregation told Jesus is buried in India at the age of 120 years, says Sheikh Ahmadine, who leads 380 followers. It says in his religion. Man, he got converts real quick, didn't he? He wasn't playing. It says like a scene. It says from Arbi, or a service from an Assyrian mosque of 100 St. Louis Muslims in the Little Mohammedan Mission at 2636 Olive Street, rose to their feet, faced toward the holy city of Mecca, raised their hands above their head. Boy, they used to go in all the details that them brothers were doing in unison. It says, La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. It meant there is no God except Allah, and Muhammad is his prophet. It says the time was Sunday night, and this was the beginning of the regular weekly services. Every division of prayer was accompanied by a change of bodily position. It says first the uplifted hands were lowered and folded across the breast, and next they were placed on their knees, and worshipers returned to an erect position. Their final posture was prostrate with their foreheads touching the floor. Assalamu alaikum, peace and blessing be with you and mercy of Allah. And that ended the prayer. It says, which was not said until after all had washed their faces and hands and mouths and removed their shoes. Speaking also of a no music and ritual, says the ritual does not provide for music, but at some of these meetings, the sun, spirit that dwells eternally in the African soul for most of the local converts belong to that race, breaks the bounds of the liturgy. It says, and then the Eastern rite takes on a little of the tone of a Mississippi camp meet. But this does not happen often. The prayer service concluded. Reverend Sheikh Ahmad, who has charge of the mission, began his sermon. He recounted the tenets, it says, of the faith, and he reminded the people that Muhammad is the master prophet, and that Jesus and all the messengers sent from God are entitled to respect. I can agree with that. I say that right now. Anybody that believes in what they believe in, let them believe it. They got a right to believe what they want to believe. Respect all the God men, though, no matter what they want to call them by. Whether you believe they exist or not, respect them people's belief. Anyway, it says the Holy Quran, as explained, is the book to unite all. It says, and declare that Muslims must disregard all distinctions of race, color, creed. It says in country. It says the holy man, Jesus, lived 120 years. Sheikh Ahmadine continued. It says in his last days was spent in India, where his body rests in the tomb of Saranagar, Kashmir state. It says the Bible teaches that the body of Jesus was buried in the garden of Joseph of Arimathea. It says close by the scene of the crucifixion outside the city of Jerusalem. It says he exhorted the newcomers into the household of faith to be zealous in obedience both to the laws of the country and the commandments of the Quran, and to pray 5 times daily with faces toward Mecca, religion of prophets. To a reporter, Sheikh Ahmad defined Islam as a meaning of peace. It says he said the Quran sets forth the religion of all former prophets, including Buddha, right? Rama, Moses, and Jesus, but that no one is worthy of worship except God himself. The word jihad, meaning to strive or to do good, has wrongly been interpreted by some of the faith or the faithful as exhortation and holy war. He asserted, but declared that true Mohammedanism abjures bloodshed. It says, except in self-defense. Sheikh Ahmad is of Arabian ancestry but American birth. He teaches all converts the Arabic language. Each convert is given an Arabic name, and thus John Jenkins may become Mahmoud to his fellow Muslims. It says later, another word indicating his business may be added to the name. It says, the Sheikh says 380 persons belong to his mission here. He also has missions at Richmond Heights, St. Louis County, and East St. Louis. So we already know the brother was in that particular area, so it don't surprise us. So that's pretty much the main clippings that I have dealing with this particular brother. And after that, I have his work here. Some of the information dealing with the Fahamid. I had more. This right, he called this the key to all Bible. See the brother up here, you can see what he called himself. The culture prophet, the Sheikh of Sheikhs, Fahami Sheikh Ahmad, the prophet of Amun Ra. The Ra, it says Robetuha, and successor of the gods of Kim, founder of the Ethiopian temples of Islam and culture. So it was a common thing for our people to demonstrate Islam, but Kemet was most definitely acknowledged. This is why Like even in the same teaching that we demonstrate here in this Moorish culture, you can see that because they come from the same source. That's why I say two arrows shot from the same bow. You know, the brother touched on some of the stuff we talk about now. He was talking about it back then, the Son of Man. Know ye that the Son himself was in ancient days called a man. It says the man above, the Son of Man, or the S-U-N man. It says in the name man was many times used for God. Tuma, Atum, you know, going into Adam. All, it say, are all one in the same thing. In the ancient days, Christ and Chrism anointed was called Ra or Raha. It says, and does not or did not remotely refer to the blessed prophet Jesus, peace be upon him, for he had not been born. You know, I like the breakdown on that, separating the Christ from the Jesus, you know, because Christ existed in Kemet as Karas. And so, man, he go in here. I like, he said, understanding for Hami is both culture and religion. Culture is religion and religion is culture. It is above mere education. It is knowledge of all men and all civilizations and knowledge of the ways of God and man. You know, so the brother was definitely demonstrating it here. You got to check him out. You know, I like this right here. Hamites were the fathers of progenitors of three great religion systems: Islam, Hinduism, and Buddhism, and Christianity. 10,000 years before the birth of Jesus. Peace and blessings of the Most High be upon all prophets of God. Jesus and Christ are quite two different things. Christ is the Son of God, and Jesus was a holy prophet. You know, it's powerful, family. The brother, the way he break, you know, his word play down. I like the etymology. This is more important right here. You know, in this particular measure, you see the zodiac, or what we call the Dendera. But up under this, brother, what's interesting, he talk about the man and the sun, his wife, you know, as the woman and the moon. We seen those teachers present in the teaching of the nation and gods and earth and the NOI and the Quran, because they refer to the, you know, the moon as her in the Grand Quran. It says the sun is the sun. Sun, S-U-N, is the S-O-N of Allah. Osiris, Atum, Ish. And this is very important because he actually used the adept name, Ish. You know, these are names of the sun, and they are new. Or crescent moon is his real, from which was made Isis. He used the crescent as being symbolic of the woman, as the, you know, the moon receives its light from the sun. I see, you know, the cosmology that's being demonstrated right here. Eve and Aisha, Ish and Isha. You see illustrations by Earl K. Wheeler, El Wayha. So, you know, it's definitely some adept science in there. You know, this is the drawing here where he was speaking on Islam. Selim, he says, is the doctrines of Isis, El, and Amun. You know, this is what he say Islam is, the doctrines of Isis, El, and Amun, which he called Isis, El, Amun, Islam. The omnipotent high God, Isis, El, Amun spells Islam. It says, and they and their kinsman Ra gave to mankind all of the world's religions, educations, ethics, civilizations, for the sons of God came out of Egypt in the holy land of Ham, Matthew 2. It says 15. You know, so this dude right here, he was mean with it. He was on universal knowledge. They was teaching oneness back then. They wasn't beefing with each other. It says the gods were made to serve man and not man serve the gods. Yeah, I know y'all done heard our brother Sadnetta say that a couple of times. You know, it says this is a fact quite unknown to the average Muslim, Jew, or Christian. Man must free himself from the restraint of negative opinions and produce positive ideas about history, religion, society, and culture, of a space of dimension, geography, mathematics, time, and eternity, in order to strengthen himself in pride, honor, and self-respect. The origin of names is of vital importance to the education of the mind. You know, a good name is better than gold. You know, so this brother, you know, definitely went in here. You know, their language, he go into the language of, that's what it is. He using the G's, or G's tongue. of the gods, now called Amharic. That's right. That's Sabic. That's Sabian language. Himyaritic in Arabic, ancient Arabic. Ethiopic, Egyptian, Hebrew, and so on. Giz or Giz is spelled Gizit. Negus, Jesus, Isa, etc. Other names for these gods and saints were Imims, Ammaluk, Elohim, Nephilim, Malik, Chemosh, Milcom, and others, but all are from Allah, and all must return to him when they die. It says there is a heaven and there's a hell. He said, this is your identification among gods and men. All are sons and daughters of God, or heaven, regardless of race, creed, color, or place of birth. And the righteous shall dwell in the paradise of God, which is Darussalam, Alu. Y'all remember me telling y'all that Ra went to the place called Allah Alu? Yeah, he talking about that here. Firdaus. It says the blessed creed, the contentment. This is third heaven, the Adept chamber. This brother talking about. It says, and the words of power, La ilaha, La ilahi, Ra'el, Amin Ra, Fahami Kim Ta or Sa, Isis, Hathar, Ori, and others represent one's race, and God is better than representing anything else. This is soul salvation with the merciful God, Allah. I like the way this brother Bill, he said, Ra man, is Amin Ra. Rahim is Rakim or Raham. Ham is also written Kam. I told you about the Ham and the Cam demonstration. Your divine ancestors named Isis, El, and Amun equals Islam. Isis, Ra, El equals Israel. Man, this is powerful. In the book of Isis and other books is written, man has become God, and God has become man. God and man are one, and the sons of God are married. The daughters and men and their offspring were the greatest among men. So, this brother goes in here, family. He doing his thing in here with his little wordplay. Talking about the paradise of Allah again here. Atum, Fahami being the foundation, divine understanding. This is the portion in here where he speaks of the master prophets of all nations. Some of the glorious names that were given. He named all these master prophets here. Then he goes on and saying that Fahamis must be kind and friends to Muslim, Jews, and Christians and Hindus. That's what it was. He wanted to be in unison with everybody, even though he was demonstrating what he was demonstrating. He wasn't teaching no hatred and being opposition and animosity. Bang on your brother. Brother talking about the Hamite pantheon, divine successor of the original 3, 7, 8, and 12 gods. The different councils of the gods that's mentioned often in a lot of Kemetic texts. This brother here was doing his thing, family. Yeah, he was definitely doing his thing. Religion is a state of mind, understanding will unite these states of mind. For Hami is the United States of religion. It says the United States of religious minds. What state of religion are you from? Whether you're from a Muslim state, the Christian state, the Jewish state, the Hindu state, the Buddhist state, the Methodist state, or territory, the Baptist state, or territory. It says, or state of Jehovah. Whatever state you are from, you should now join the union of understanding and become annexed. Let us have a United States of Fahami, or understanding. I have gone deep into humanity's past and high into the spiritual realms, and now I give you the world key to the problem. And if they ask you, are you of Islam? Say yes. Are you of Israel? Say yes. Are you of Jesus? Say yes. Are you of Brahma, Rama, Siva, Buddha? Say yes. And answer all in a manner and say, I am a Fahami and I understand them all and more. I am what you are because Ham is the father of Amun. Amun of it all. Before you were what you are, I was that. I preoccupied the ground in peace. This shall be your formula for unity and peace. He is the road to brotherhood of man and sisterhood of woman and the parenthood of God. Really, you will be telling the greatest truth of all time, but most people do not know. This is to avoid the evils of arguments and wrangling, which is a very great sin. This shall be your formula for unity and peace. So he was trying to teach his people how to be united with our people, no matter what they call themselves. I give honors to the elders for thinking like that, because that's how I feel at this particular point. People got to learn to respect, each other's gifts. The brother, he definitely was on. He was on point. He knew how to unite the divinity of the matter, bring the people together. The facts and revelation recorded in this book are quite unknown to the average Muslim, Jew, or Christian. Quran and Muhammadans, Torah and Jews, Bible and Christians all assert that human life began with autumn, when as a matter of fact, he was the product of the previous civilization. That's right. Some of the rabbis, sheikhs, emirs, sultans, kings, and presidents do not know these things, but the average person does not know. I said they do know these things, but the average person does not know and do not recognize any as good Muslims, Jews, or Christians until they recognize you as their equals. Muslim, Jew, and Christian are all holy creeds, and those of them who have no love for you, they are the unbelievers. But they do not know it, but treat them with kindness and respect. So this brother was real big on trying to keep people in a state of harmony. So you got to honor that thought right there, family. It don't get no plainer than that. I see he got a lot of anthems in here. I see he dealt with reincarnation right here. Reincarnation is another way of saying Ra incarnation. Ra or Christ is sunshine, since it causes all food to grow. Then when you eat bread or meat, you drink water or the juice of any vine or plant, you are really eating and drinking the body of the incarnated Ra. It says, as the Greeks say, Christ, are sunlight, vitamins of life-giving foods, etc. The Christ, which is Ra, or sunlight, is made flesh. That is vegetation or meat, and dwells among all mankind and beast kind. Man, he doing his thing. You see some of the people that are being depicted in here. Notice the sister here. The only person y'all ever seen sister dressed like that was the MGT. See, Brother Pete Nathaniel Johnson got his sister dressed in that particular crescent. But anyway, Fahimi Holy Priestess, Lady Isis Qasim, a reincarnation of the Lady of the Nile, priestess at Mother Temple, St. Louis, M.O. Yeah, this brother here, the blessed prophet Jesus, called upon Eloi, Eli, and Allah, and set up new civilization, the Most High. Just scanning through a lot of this stuff here. The world needs today is a religion of all people, and not merely Jewish, Muslim, Hindu, Buddhist, or Christian religion, but the religion that honors equally Jesus, Muhammad, Raha, Krishna, Buddha, Joseph Smith, and all the other saviors and prophets of God, regardless of their race, creed, and color, or country. It says the Jews look upon Moses as a true prophet, so does other people regard their prophets. Say not false prophet of any one of them, for God knows what you know not. So he's saying don't be calling people prophets, false prophets. This was his teaching. See our brother representing again. Islam simply means Isis El Amun. Muslim means there are many of the Isis El Amuns. Israel simply means Isis Ra'el. It says Christ simply means Kara Isis. And that is the key to all religions. And they are my and your ancestors, the incarnated son of reincarnation, the gods of kin. He says there is no such thing as a Negro race, nor is there a white race, But we do have African Afro-Americans. Black people are not Negroes any more than white people are albinos, for both are Latin terms. Yeah, he doing his thing in here. We see some priests and deacons of his particular body here. They phased up. Yeah, what can modern blacks show that even compares with his ancient civilization? Masonry began and ended with the pyramids, the only building erected by the hand of man. It says that time and elements have failed to destroy. Since Akhenaten, he has not, it says, produced a prophet that even compares with Balaam the Canaanite. Yeah, he said, I would classify, the saints, and y'all see me read that he got Prophet Noble Drew Ali up in here. He also said he recognizes Prophet Noble Drew Ali as a prophet, another place in here. And we see he got some Shriners up here, he got some regular, probably some Moors. So he got a bunch of people. I see what he was doing with this type of doctrine here. He had all people amongst him. No matter what group they was, he was honoring them all. In his own way, he had his own doctrine, but you can see that he was definitely influenced by the Moorish teaching as well. He had his own teaching, but he showed unity. Fahimi Creed. We pretty much done, family. I'm just going through this work to show y'all what type of stuff this brother was teaching. He's talking about Ish and Isha again. Okay, the prayer for the gods and the saints. Muhammad funeral ritual and prayer. There's this symbol right there, the Bahadet, registered in the United States Patent Office. Reproduction is prohibited. The seal of Fahimi. Zeman Shahar, founder, seer, founder, president. Christian Brotherhood, Hidden School. Yeah, he was dealing with a lot of different people. I like this part here. This is very powerful. He understood the word katam, like I be telling our people, the sealing of the prophet. For those who get mad, it says a prophet's seal simply means approved of God. That's what I keep telling them. It just means stamp of authenticity and verified by him. Facts. It says the Most High God puts his stamp of approval or his seal upon all the prophets and the true believers as well. See Holy Quran, the Allies 33 and 40. Many prophets have appeared in the world since that time. The Son of Man have the Father sealed. John 6:27, Revelation 7:3. The last prophet of God to the heirs was the Holy Prophet Muhammad. That's what I keep telling them. Muhammad was their last prophet, not the last prophet of the world. It says the last prophet of God to the Jews was the Holy Prophet Jesus. And it is significant that no prophet has appeared to the Arabs, neither the Jews, since the prophets came to them. But this does not apply to the so-called backward heathen and savage people who have had no last prophet. So rest assured, God has not forsaken them, nor left them to the mercies of men. If there will be no more prophets, then there will be no more progress. I like that. Like I told the people, we say a prophet is a thought of Allah manifested in the flesh. So you got to stop Allah from thinking to stop prophets from manifesting. It says, if there would be no more prophets, then there would be no more progress. Then he said right here, we consider Drew Ali as a prophet, and Ahmad of India and the Bab of Baha'is as a prophet of God, and many others. And we are loyal to our country, its laws, and we have some enthusiastic members in the armed services of this nation. So, the brother again gave honors to Prophet Noble Drew Ali again. He talked about Tehudi over here, thought, the jinns and genies and, Isis El Amun again. Yeah, this brother did his thing up here. Yeah. He wasn't playing with us. He meant what he said, family. It's a lot of wisdom in this information here, trying to bring the oneness. And you see that Kemetic Islamic tie that he demonstrated. The same thing that they try to come and convince you, you know, how you gonna be demonstrating this and that? You know, this is how adepts demonstrate. We don't have to be what somebody else is in order to honor them. You know, I don't have to be somebody's religion in order to honor what they stand on. It ain't gonna cost me nothing to respect what somebody else demonstrate. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, this brother here was on point. You know, he talking about the Ahmadis, Ahmad. Yeah. Reincarnation is the use of the name of claim. And, you know, he's talking about, there it is right there. We don't crave to be called Muslim, Jews, Christians, or Mohammedans, for we are all of them already. And our shrine and our Qibla is wherever we wish to turn. We are the true shriner, says Muhammad, understander. Yeah. Powerful measure. You know, the brother did his thing. To become a Fahami Sheikh, Imam, or priestess, he or she must not be over 30 years of age. It says single. Oh, man, they had to be young, huh? Must not be sickly, maimed, nor crippled. That's definitely Masonic doctrine right there. Must be free from parents, mortgages, debt, free of a criminal record, honest, upright, and dignified, and any exception to this rule must be executed by the personal presence or written consent of the Fahami Prophet. Yeah. You know, yeah. Savior sent to every nation, prophets, African undertaker. So yeah, we see what our brother was demonstrating. You know, he had his only measure that was dealing with himself, but he also had a universal approach and appeal. You can hear that Moorish overtone, you know, in there as well. So yeah, the brother was on point, family. This wasn't a real long presentation right here, because a lot of it was straightforward and to the point. You know, but this is the history on our brother P. Nathaniel Johnson. You know, honors to the brother for the work that he did. There's nothing wrong with us honoring this brother for what he did. You see? All is well. Okay, I see our brother JJ 7000 in there. Peace, brother. All is well. Shalom. Yeah, so, you know, this is what we showing. We here to build bridges. You know, that's what we doing with this information. So we ain't hiding nothing from you. We're going to keep putting it out here. I'm showing you that we have more in common than uncommon. All the beefing got to stop. Only reason our people dealing with this conflict, man, is because they like religious gang banging. You know, that ain't what we demonstrate over here. We ain't going to never teach that. We ain't going to never promote that. But if somebody get us twisted and they want to come with the foo-foo, we definitely, you know, can entertain, you know, some of the measures or whatever. You know, so we don't, that ain't what we own though. So like I say, Sheikh Ahmad and our brother Sheikh Hajj Sharif Abdul Ali, Prophet Noble Ali, both of these brothers most definitely are two arrows shot from the same bow. You know, being that we know that the brother Sheikh Ahmad studied under the Canaanite temple, and there's some overlap with this in the history. We also see his connection and affiliation with Suleiman, as we was talking about last night. You know, there's another aspect of the tie, and I'm pretty sure there's more information out there to be found, you know, in relation to dealing with this. So yeah, this is very powerful, family. You know, we want to keep showing our people this. They got a lot of their stuff out here online too. You know, the Fahamis, they got a couple of videos out there. So, you know, you get a chance, go check them out. You know, all of our family, we need to know who we are. We need to become acquainted with each other. Being acquainted with each other don't mean that somebody got to try to force their doctrine down your throat. Like me right now, I'm just giving information. I ain't trying to convert you to being no Moorish American. I ain't trying to make you be no Muslim. I'm just giving information right now and showing the connection between our people. Now, what you do with the information, that's on you. I'm giving you all of the information, laying it out, you know, as it is. Some of our people may have had questions about this. Some of our people never heard of who the brother Sheikh Ahmad is. but we can definitely see that his teachings are present in the teachings of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And that's big facts. It's the same teaching that we were demonstrating. Now, we've been demonstrating. Mine is doubt of contradiction. I'm going to go to a measure, and this is going to be my closeout point right here. I'm going to open up the Book of Fire, the Exhuming of a Nation. And from that Book of Fire, I'm going to read a particular portion, and then we'll go from there. Let me see here. Trying to get this demonstration open. Okay, that's not the one I'm looking for. Let's see here. Like I said, this was pretty quick here. Let me see. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna have to pull this too, because it's interfering with my. Either that, I'm gonna have to change the drive and go up here. Okay, let me see. Okay. Okay, yeah, there we go. So I put it up here. Okay. Let's see. Okay, what I'm gonna have to do, I'm gonna have to pull this because it's interfering with my ability to go pull my file up. We can't have that. Well, I'm gonna have to go into it and pull it out this way then. Since it ain't let me do it that way, I just go into the files and the documents and pull it up. Let me go down here to the letter E. I know it's there. Okay, there we go. Don't pass it up. There we go, right there. Okay, now let me share my screen. Sheesh. All right, here we go, because I want to read this, and we're going to close this demonstration out. Okay, let me share the screen. All right, we're going to share the entire screen. Make sure everything is being seen. Okay, let me go back to my book. Here we go, right here. Right. Pull this up real quick for the family. Okay, yeah, so we were in the right spot. That's not what I want to go into right there. Yeah, this is where I wanted to go at right here. The brother chairman did a good job on this right here. Yeah, we'll start right there. He said Islamism is many sciences. Symbols are the embodiment of a multiplicity of thoughts compiled into a single expression. Symbols are man-made emblems that personify the characteristics of a state, condition, era, formulas, etc., which are immaterial. Symbols usually interpret the purpose or use of many things, while also showing both in its magnitude and limitations. People are accustomed to symbols being around them every day. Most symbols are easily recognized, e.g., the skull and crossbones represent poison or death. The cross represents church or Christianity. The red circle slash represents don't or not allowed. The circle bell represents telephone. It states the circle blue represents handicap or wheelchair. Symbols have unnumbered meanings. It says, and are used to represent the business of a man, from highway signs to national flags, and from industries. It says to space explorations. It says, but it is the symbols of understanding which most people do not identify nor use effectively. Symbols of understanding are often referred to as architectures. It says they are not as commonly known as their kindred symbols of astronomy and astrology. The glory of this trinity of symbols is, it says, they are all nourished from the breast of divine geometry, astronomy, astrology, and architecture. Religion, a science of the Moorish. The key to knowing the sciences of the above three sacred schools rests in knowledge of history, of their history. Noble Drew Ali said, what your ancient forefathers were, you are today without doubt or contradiction. No one is able to change man from the descendant nature of his forefathers, unless his power extend beyond the great creator God, Allah himself. Go back to your ancient forefathers' state of mind and accomplish what you will. The Holy Prophet further added, because our forefathers are the true and divine founders of the first religious creed for the redemption and salvation of mankind on earth, hence, we, the Moorish, are returning to Islam, which was founded by our forefathers for our earthly and divine salvation. Every man needs to worship under his own vine and fig tree. Now, when he say we return to Islam as founded by our ancient forefathers, we're talking about the mystic way. Tasawwuf and Sufism and all that right there come from Kemet. So that's founded by our ancient forefathers. That's what we call Islamism. You see? Not Arabism or the Arab way. So it will also do well to point out, for the clarity of our signs and symbols subject matter, Noble Drew Ali was prepared by the great God Allah to bring the true and divine creed of Islam, the true and divine creed, not al-Islam of the Arabs, not the Arabized version. That's why Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, don't let no foreign Muslim get up on your roster. He said, don't let the Arab get up on your roster. I'm sorry, that's what Prophet Noble Drew Ali taught. But anyway, so it says to teach the old time religion and everlasting gospel to the sons of men. To know the trinity of symbols aforementioned is to define the science of civilizing, it says, used by the ancient ones, which Noble Drew Ali called Islamism. Then perhaps the reader will understand why Europeans' only way to conquer the Moors was to knock them in the head, rendering him unconscious. See Masonry's Hiram Abiff. Islamism, the scientific use of signs and symbols, it says, in tools, was the creed of the ancient Moors. It was applied and lived thousands of years before the advent of Prophet Muhammad, who gave it the perfected name Islam, peace, seal of the prophets. Europeans classified the Moorish mind as a galactic weapon. When a Moor was functioning on all points, thinking, he was considered armed and dangerous. In order to disarm them as a people, of love, truth, peace, right? And truth, peace, and truth and peace. It says they had to be disallowed to think, reason, will, or to understand. Every Moorish child had to become an idiom. It says a Muslim is one who submits his will to the will of the great God. It says all ancient Moors were Muslims and they lived Islam by its components. Islamism as the study of inner peace. The science of universal harmonies, the first signs and symbols were designed and used by the ancient Moabites. The so-called modern man, in his assuming the title of God, describes the Moorish ancient way of life as paganistic and heathenism. However, upon investigation, we can see no civilization existed unless they used some aspect of this modern European Hebrew version of paganistic idol worshiping stew. It says astronomy is a part of Islamism. The study of the great gods, the planets, the stars, and their movements and their systems, the ancient ones, reverence, and universal order applied this geometric system to their society. Astronomy was a dutiful way of life for Moors, so much so it was added as a natural part of their holistic government. It was as natural as drinking water. In fact, in his chapter on religion, Noble Drew Ali reveals, and in the laws, universal divine order, he had ordained as a rule of life so kindly, hath he united thy duty to thy nature, that obedience to his precepts is happiness to thyself. Moorish Holy Quran, chapter 35, ayat 21. Islamism is navigation. From astronomy, the Moors acquired an omnipotent guidelines. To charter courses across land, sea, sky, universe, and they were able to map the mental growth of the soul, which men later called enlightenment by denoting its actions of thinking, reasoning, willing, understanding. It says they developed systems of navigation shortly after the fall. It became obvious to man that he was descending from his God state. He must now pre-measure and mark his travels, unless he would be lost, it says, into perpetual finite realm, or the finite realm, the manifest. Why? Navigation is simply carnal man's way of traveling by the senses, and guidance is divine pathway of the gods. Drew Ali said man's spirit travels from the center to the outer bounds, but the consciousness of man feels, it says, from the infinite to the finite as he descended slower into a human state. This is where the foolish man became lost and had to devise north, south, east, and west as directional tools to mark his earthbound travels. In truth, the center of man is the heart of man. This is where he must inwardly find his God state. But that is too simple, right? So what does man do to find himself? God. Through rituals and forms, they face places on the earth, north, east, south, and west. It says that he himself has previously marked to offer prayers to a God that he declared is omnipresent and everywhere at once. Silly human. If the great God is truly everywhere, why go anywhere outside of the self to offer reverence? The chairman cold-blooded with it, man. Real adept. But anyway, Islamism is the zodiac. The ancient ones' recognition of the divine coordinates between planets, the timetable of manifest destiny, and man with other forms of life. These coordinates are spiritual or astral bonds with design orbital effects upon other living cycles, past, present, and future. Time elements are divided into thought increments of hours, days, years, and ages. These too are often divided into celestial governments of 12 houses called zodiac. These houses are life cycles. Still, these houses are preceded by the suffix zo. It says, which implies animal kingdom, e.g., zoo. The word zodiac means world of the little animals because each of the 12 houses are represented by a symbol reflective of the characteristic of their special house. The ancient Moors were able to reason early in the life of man. All life evolves in cycles of fruition. True astrology is the living of manifest destiny and the consciousness of man's deific life. Man was created perfect. He came from a perfect source. He therefore is a perfect being, and to perfection he must return. This is the true purpose for the zodiac. Who would know this better than the ancient Canaanites? It says they later inhabited Terramathian kingdoms in the Upper Nile, whom first designed the zodiac as a celestial calendar to measure their cycle of growth. Minxti, an elder, a wise man from China, once told Yehoshua, all things are thought, all life is thought activity. The multitudes of beings are but phases of one great thought made manifest. Lo, the great God is thought, and thought is the great God. Sound like thought, a Tehudi, huh? So he said, architecture in Islam is a conscious Moor is an architect because his creator God has the master plan. Fruit never falls far from this tree. The ancient ones were masters of designing large living structures. They were built from the high essence of the earth to house the oracles personifying the oneness of God and man. These living structures are the original computers built geometrically perfect with the principles of higher character of man, using only the power of thought. Some of these structures are the ancient mounds, pyramids, pagodas. It says the ancient Muslims built these structures to this day, and these structures still stand still in the Americas, Africa, and China. They live, made in the image of the character of man to his creator. None of these structures were built with a hammer sound. Like the 9-month making of a God man, the woman do not use hammer or nails. She can develop a God by following the divine design of the master architect. Islamism is truly the work done when the will of man is in harmony with the will of his creator, being himself the God that he is. And so we'll stop right there. But it's a powerful drawing just dealing with the science of what we call Islamism without the schism, and it ain't got nothing to do with no Arabism. You can see by what we read. If you done read any Orthodox Islam material, you see that we different. So with that particular measure right there, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna drop the link in here just in case somebody want to come in here before I get off of this particular broadcast. We like to address the family. Anybody can come in here as long as it's respectful. We don't do no cussing nobody out and disrespect. It's all love, all are welcome, even if you disagree. But it's a powerful measure. We just wanted to show you that these teachings are two sides of the same coin, coming at different degrees of unfoldment, family. This is how we here to build. Remember, these brothers were shot, 2 arrows shot from the same bow. And we can go deeper into this. And that's why we have you at this level. Every time we're going to give you an increment of what's being taught so you know exactly what it is that I'm bringing forth. You ain't got to wonder. You ain't got to think, oh, now we get it. It's all love, fam. So if you want to jump on here, hit the link. You got anything, beef, gripe, suggestions, you want to give your measure, all is well. Come on in here. Come on in the room, as they used to say. Okay. Well, while we wait on our family, if they feel like they want to get in here, we're going to leave our family with a grand reflection. Show you how we be building. I'm going to do it like this here. I'm going to have to go here in order to get here. I'm gonna go here. This is the conference that I was telling y'all about too. Let me make sure I get the right. They should have it. I got to go back here and do this here. Most likely. Let's see. Let me see if it go back here. Yeah, here we go. This is just giving our family some insight of we getting ready to get back out here and start doing this work just like this in very shortly. Just trying to wait for all this pandemic activity, make sure that the coast is clear. We're gonna get out here and go to building. Let me see here. Okay, I went too far down. I want to give honors to our Grand Mufti for archives as well. Okay. Let me make sure that we got sound on here. Let's see. This is where, because people always ask me, where you get this name, Commission? Like I said, I didn't come up with this name. It's stuck after, my chairman conferred it upon me. So I just put it in here, and people didn't call me by my regular name. They called me Commission Adept Hereford. I didn't intend for it to be that way, but maybe that's the way the ancestors intended it to be.
See, but right now, let me call on Sheikh, our National Assistant Grand Sheikh Islam.
Islam, Morskin, Islam. Islam. Having already risen, I would like to give praise to the great God Allah once again, and all praise to him for sending us a holy prophet, noble Drew Ali, El Hajj Sharif Abdul Ali, that is. We give honors to our Moorish kin once again here, there, and everywhere. And therefore honors to all of you who are honoring yourselves by being yourselves. We give honors to our Grand National Seal. We give honors to our Grand National Emblem. We give honors to our national flag. We give honors to our divine constitution and bylaws, and honors to all of you who are living manifestation and personification of everything that our holy prophet brought to make us a nation. I want to give honors for this grand occasion that have been brought to the manifest here today. All of Act 1. And when I say Act 1 includes the citizens as well.
That's right.
So when we speaking of Act 1, we talking about the whole grand body.
That's right.
We know we got a grand body that's exalted, but we got the grand body that's on the manifest as a whole. And this measure dealing with the uniting of nations, it starts here. And then we take this measure abroad. Because if we can't demonstrate the unity at home, how can we take it abroad?
Right.
You see, our holy prophet told us that we were going to have to take these lessons and set even our brothers straight in the East.
That's right.
But we got to get the West on point first and foremost.
That's right.
Self-determination. This is the key. That's something that we haven't been demonstrating. As a people, we've been so used to having those who hand things out and give things to us, so forth and so on. I'm talking about along the lines of a privilege, right?
That's right.
And they say this is your freedom. And then when you have the privilege, you get content with the privilege. And when the true freedom is on the manifest, you can't recognize it.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, you say, I got the privilege.
That's right.
So where's the freedom in having my own government? Where's the freedom in having my own flag? Where's the freedom in having my own grand national seal and my own grand national emblem? You see, these are questions that we have to ask ourselves. Our holy prophet said that if he could get us to thinking, and me and some Moors were talking about this earlier, honors to the Moors from the temple, all of them that have shown up.
That's right.
If he could get us to thinking,
That's right.
then we would save ourselves.
That's right.
And the only way he can get us to thinking is that we stop thinking like the NBC. Stop thinking about the what's happening now, because that's where we caught up like the hamster on the wheel, right? Running nowhere fast.
That's right.
And our bread is being eaten by another. Like our grand Sheikh always say, boots on the ground.
That's right. That's right.
That's how we got to demonstrate. See, the law that we demonstrate is what we call theocracy. This is the rule of the great God. This is ancient law, Ma'atic law. When you go back to ancient Kemet, this was the same law that was demonstrated by the first family. I'm talking about Osar. I'm talking about Oset. I'm talking about Heru. You see, this was the original man, woman, and child that established a house based upon Ma'atic law, truth and right. That's all it is. And this government is founded upon truth and right.
That's right.
We carry the scales above the neck, truth and right here. And as long as we are demonstrating that, then we are moving along the course of self-determination, where we determine within ourselves that we be a nation. We determine within ourselves that we would elevate ourselves from being just some second-class citizen, as they call it, Johnny come nobody. They don't know. We don't care what so we want to come out of that especially state, Morris King.
That's right.
We want to demonstrate our original divine creed. Our holy prophet established what he called divine and a national movement. So this includes or encompasses all of our people, regardless of what organization you may belong to.
That's right.
Regardless of what social club you may have been affiliated with. This has to do with, I don't care what church, what mosque, what temple, whatever the case may be. Everybody here in this era of time is bearing witness to the just some second-class citizen, as they call it, Johnny come nobody. They don't know. We don't care what so we want to come out of that especially state, Morris King.
That's right.
We want to demonstrate our original divine creed. Our holy prophet established what he called divine and a national movement. So this includes or encompasses all of our people, regardless of what organization you may belong to.
That's right.
Regardless of what social club you may have been affiliated with. This has to do with, I don't care what church, what mosque, what temple, whatever the case may be. Everybody here in this era of time is bearing witness to the unfoldment of the fulfillment of the prophecies of Noble Drew Ali. When you hear us talking about our flag, it was brought forth on the soul plane before it became a manifest thing.
Wow.
You see, this flag is as old as the great God Allah himself. When you talk about love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, that was on the manifest before the flesh was on the manifest. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice was a part of creation being brought into the manifest. And the scimitar was there too. Justice was taking its course from the beginning, you see? So when you go back to the essence and you go into the self and you become that banner, you become that living manifestation, you become that circle 7, you become perfect in essence, because that's the nature in which you were meant to be created anyway. Then we ourselves will be placed back at that pinnacle. And that pinnacle is where the wisdom derives from.
That's right.
And the wisdom, the will, and the love is what will bring us into conformity to the will. You see, when we say conformity to the will, we're talking about conformity to deific will.
That's right.
That's unity. Salvation, our God, unity, right? And our holy prophet also brought our laws in the Moorish Holy Quran, and it tells us that the great God Allah, in his providence, that he has brought forth a law by means that it be set down in ever all its works, that we ourselves have the same law in us. We conform to this law. We don't submit to the law because we're being forced. You know, we don't have to force ourselves to submit into love. We conform to love. It's natural to love. It's unnatural to hate. So who taught us to hate? Where do we get that behavior from? You know, where do we get that type of mentality from? We learned that as a result of oppression. We got it from realms of male and illusion. A lot of time, the things that we hate, we have some type of, we say, blind look at. You know, really, it's nothing that has any power in the first place.
That's right.
And so you're getting caught off by distractions.
That's right.
So that's why we have to demonstrate self-determination. Put self-determination out front. And you putting the prophet out front by demonstrating that. We say he's the love thought made manifest. In our teachings, we are told in the Moorish Holy Quran that spirit man was given a soul that he might function upon the plane of soul, and a body of flesh that he might function upon the plane of things made manifest. So man is not the body nor the soul. He is a spirit and a part of the great God Allah. Islam? So if he's a spirit and a part of the great God Allah, go into he said, what is the duty of a prophet?
That's right.
To save nation from the wrath of Allah. Islam? So let's go back into the measure. Spirit man was a thought of the great God Allah made manifest. The prophet is a thought of the great God Allah made manifest. An angel is the thought of the great God Allah made manifest. So what do they all have in common? Because Allah don't have dirty thoughts. All of his thoughts are pure. So you pure by nature. You know, and man, it's just a grand measure. I've been on the manifest at 3:30 this morning, trying to get to my Moorish kin. And it's a grand drawing just to be here, to stand upon the shoulders of giants such as yourselves. Because I'll say this right here. Watch the Moorish hordes as they come in.
That's right.
Because the fulfillment of the prophecy is on the manifest.
Right.
We've seen the preparation, but now this is the age of fulfillment.
Right.
And this work will be done. And those who come after us,
that's right,
they will already have something to stand upon.
That's right.
They ain't got to worry about how they gonna do it, because it'll already be done.
Right.
What our holy prophet said, our holy prophet told us. He said that when he said that he was gonna do a thing, he had already done it.
That's right.
So when he came forth, and you know, our chairman been on the manifest for the longest. You know, when he said he was going to repeat himself, you often hear me say this. He wasn't talking about just browbeating you over the head. He has repeated himself. He is the personification of his grand body. He's not dead. And as long as we think that he is dead and that he no longer lives, you don't believe that he can bring you a government from the plane of soul. You don't believe that he can bring you a flag from the plane of soul. You see? So we want to give honors to you, Morris Ken. I ain't going to hold you up, because I would love to see this matrimonial Hajj that's getting ready to be demonstrated, and it's coming from us, You know, we didn't have to go to the city hall, all these measures or whatever the case may be, and you're free. And you're free. You know, so that being said, Morris Ken, I'll stand down. Because you know we Moors can talk till we get white around the mouth. You know, when I say Islamism, peace, love, and law, gratitude. We love you with love and divinity, Morris Ken.
It's long. It's long. It's long. Now you know why that's the sister grand Sheikh.
That's right.
It's always a joy, especially when we have a class, because they have their own class on Saturdays on a national conference call. They call it Morris Perspectives, and it's always a powerful class. And also, it's good to know, because you know our prophet. When you hear me speak about Egypt or Kemet, if you will, you oftentimes, because I let you know the line of prophets always they're in them, and they have, all of them have got to go to Egypt. So one of the specialties that Shahi has is that he's specialized as a committee and adab master.
That's right.
And this is what our prophet became. So in our teachers here at the Morris American government level, a lot of more don't realize how honored we are and blessed we are to have Shaheed there with these teachings, you know, because it causes for a higher level of interpreting the law.
That's right,
A much higher level. So if you wonder why, what distinguishes the Morris American government or the citizens from other Morris Americans or those that members or whatever the case may be, that's what it is. It's your interpretation of the committee and studies. The same thing that Noble Ali had to go through. Because he said, you know, he wants you to walk in his footsteps. Everything that he did, he wants you to do. And you, for those of you who may not have it, we've got what is called the 7 adab degrees that Noble Ali had to pass in going through Kemet when he was there in Egypt. For the time of age of 16, for 10 years that he was there. Okay, so we got those lessons available for you, so you'll know. And once you learn that what the prophet had to go through, then you can see yourself.
Praise Allah.
Okay, so that's another reason why we have those lessons available to you. So with this in mind, before we call on the great ones, I want to call on the National Grand Sheikh. And if the more to help him coming over this way. But you ain't got to stand up, Mo. You want to sit down? You want to sit?
I'm standing on it. Islam. Rise from my station, give a lot of praise, adoration, thanksgiving, and glory. And to his beloved thought, who brought us to our story, the one who is divine, noble and divine. Noble all the time. Our brother man the prophet, Noble Drew Ali, who did come 5 times more powerful, just to set us all free. We give that brother the highest honors that we can bestow upon man. And to our officials and our staff, truly give you honors for everything that you do on behalf of the prophet. We give honors to our Grand Mufti, Grand Mufti Corps, divine ministers, student ministers alike, mighty angels, here, there, and everywhere. We give honors to the Moorish citizens, sympathizers, and supporters. We give honors to those who brought forth this grand occasion. She didn't have to do it.
That's right.
Truly, I am humbled before you this day. I have gone through a few transitions, but I'm all right.
Praise Allah.
Islam.
All right.
One said the key word, and I want us to focus on this, because everything that my brothers and officials spoke about, it's the truth. We at war. We at war. And it's not a physical war per se. It's a mental war. It's a battle for our souls, man. We are here to teach our babies. Prophet says third and fourth generation will know the good of my laws. Take your old Moors, set you in the back. Yeah, my laws. We here to make that manifest with them babies. Now you got to protect them babies. One says chief protect. You got to protect them babies. Because everything we are, everything we desire to be, reside in what? And who? Them. Your future. That's you in the future. So we don't have time to be around here speaking about this is President Bay's flag. Oh, President Bay done it again. I mean, what is the purpose of it? What purpose does it serve? Is it going to bring security and peace for our people who are getting brutalized over here in America? When them babies getting killed in the street because they don't know, because they can carry a Glock down. But the Europeans say you can't carry that. Now they have a shootout with them. Because the child has been taught by program that the gun is this available weapon. Where the Moors at? That's what we talking about. So when I declared boot on the ground, that's what I meant. That's what the prophet said. Come on, ye Asiatics, and learn the truth about yourself. You're not Negroes, colored folks, black people, nor Ethiopians. Why? Because these names were given to slaves. Simple. That's right. By slave owners in 1779 and last until we? Doing what? Why did it last until 1865? Oh. The prophet freed you. You was free to be yourself. They couldn't harass you like that no more. George Bob couldn't own you no more. Talking about the 13, 14 minutes. The minister was talking about that earlier. He couldn't own you no more. They had to let you go. But where did it put you? Out on the bigger plantation. Because you don't know who you are. You don't even know how you got here. You don't know what they did to get you here. Now, one come with a book, Exhuming of a Nation. What does that mean? You talking about, we got to get some digging to do. Where my pallbearers at? Where you at? We got some digging to do. Because our fight is not against each other. Our fight is against those who desire to keep us enslaved. That's right. Come on. Who are in them organizations getting paid by the one to keep us enslaved. You know who we are. And justice must get you. Let it be here, shit, according to love, truth, peace, and justice. Because I got the power invested in my hand. And I will have to enforce the law in order to stay the nation.
Yeah, most definitely, family. I just want to give honors to you all. I love my grand Sheikh. That was my grand Sheikh up there. You know, still, scimitar sharp. He stayed on the manifest, man, cutting through the ethers with that truth, man. So we give honors to them elders, man. Them the shoulders that I stand upon, you know. And we definitely here, family. This the Moorish American government, And if you believe that your condition can be better, whatever you may come from, be it Hebrew, Nubian, NOI, all of y'all welcome, man, to come, into the fold of the Moorish American government. And let's build together no matter what we call ourselves. Because government is the only thing that can unite us and make us one. Government is the only thing that will bring us together under an umbrella of unity, you see. And we've already been acknowledged and recognized, so you ain't got to worry about being acknowledged and recognized. We already recognized. We just waiting on our people. We waiting on our people, family, to come home, and they are. And so all of us got work to do. We deal with the spirituality from the ancestors, but we ain't here to browbeat our people over the head with religion. We more about self-mastery. We are held accountable to ourselves. Okay, there go my good brother right there, original man. What's going on with you, brother?
Peace, good brother. How you doing tonight or this morning?
Yeah, all is well, brother. Peace, love, and law at all costs. What
Yes,
about
sir.
yourself, God, man?
Yes, sir. I'm actually out working, man. I drive trucks and stuff, so I'm up here in Virginia, rolling through, checking out your video, brother. Great bill.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We just trying to connect the dots, man, and build them bridges, brother. What you think about our brother? You familiar with brother Sheikh Ahmadine, Paul Nathaniel Johnson?
Be honest with you, brother, I missed majority,
Okay.
well, half of your bill. I just caught the tail end of it.
Okay.
But I just want to jump on and ask you a couple questions, man, about the Moorish American government,
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
you say you guys already recognize. So tell me a little about the Moorish American government. What do you guys have established?
Well, good brother. At this particular time, what we are doing are teaching, our executive rulers. This is the main aspect, teaching them how to rule. Because if you don't teach your people how to rule properly, your nation is destined for ruins. And so we got a lot of things that we have. I'm gonna show you the website and show you what we have in line that we are working towards. But in the same token, this is simultaneously because we ain't got a lot of time as a people, to do what it is that need to be done. So that's why we putting out the call to our people and tell them to come home. But I'm gonna show you real quick some of the things that we working on, good brother. Just a few, not everything. You know,
Well, yeah, like I said before, I'm driving, so I can't really see what you. Uh,
well, you can
well,
hear,
I'm listening to you. I can hear you. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
you can hear
Uh-huh.
me demonstrate what I'm saying, and the people can see what's being said. The ones who still here, and so I'm
Okay.
gonna share the screen so that the people that may not have seen can actually go to our website as well. MoorishAmericanGovernment.land. MoorishAmericanGovernment.land. We had some imposters and perpetrators trying to steal that and do what they would want to do under it, but you know, we the only Moorish American government that's actually recognized. We have our Declaration Proclamation of Status and Jurisdiction that was accepted by the United Nations, and so basically, um, a lot of the information is on here, and I want to go here. This is the tab that says MAG, that's Moorish American Government, EMAG, and we have working on right now the establishment of our 12 departments, which we need those who have expertise in those areas. We have some who are already there. We all have certain offices that we have applied to, but we call it a golden cord of love that run through all of them. So we really should be proficient in every one of them to the extent to where if the nation were to fall, may Allah forbid, we would be knowledgeable enough each and every one of us as executive rulers to get this demonstration off the ground. You know, so we have what I call a theocratic constellation of 12 departments. The first one in our proposal, we're working toward right now, land, building facilities, purchase of abandoned buildings, our own schooling, you know, um, dealing with a whole bunch of things of teaching our people the responsibilities of a clean and pure nation, also teaching them education from a theocratic standpoint. Theocratic deal with theocracy because that's our form of government. It's not a democracy. It's not a republic. And that theocracy actually deal with rule under God because our ancestors ruled under the supreme reality. And this is how they was able to establish a kingdom, a nation, so to speak, in the past. They ruled for thousands of years, and this was based off of theocracy. So the art of self-mastery, character building, this is what we are foundating ourselves in. We are looking for certain areas in different territories and what we want to invest in certain things. So we trying to get our printers press instead of having to being able to go to other people to do it. We had some family out there, but they went about their way, so to speak, and that's all in good and well. But then we have Department of Economics, Trade and Commerce. We got offshore banking that we want to get into. We're gonna get into the digital currency. Man, we got a lot of stuff we working toward. And what we have established so far is the nucleus, though. We are what we call an embryo in an embryo state. We at our most delicate moment in this unfoldment. And so anything that is done that can be detrimental to us, can harm our people as a whole. So that's why we say we got to instruct our people on how to rule, before they can rule. Because a lot of people think that they are fit for building, think that they are fit for, nation building and so forth and so on until it's time to build a nation. So we have that department, got the Department of Law Defense and Protectors and Justice. This represents our Mufti Corps. We look forward to our family, that are out there. If they were to come into the body, such as our NOI family, if they were to acknowledge our people along with our Black Panther brothers and sisters, so to speak, that's their expertise. Now you have a place to really exercise, your law defense and your justice degrees, so to speak, as opposed to being under the United States government. But anyway, herbs, health, and healing, we teach on that. Teach our people how to take care of their body, because if you got a healthy body and a mind, this is what we do. We teach this 7 days a week, good brother. So we building our people up. Department of Agriculture and Food, Department of Foreign Alliance, Department of Media and Freedom, Department of Sciences and Universal Peace, the Department of Education and Truth, Department of Transportation, Highways and Telepathy, Department of Archives and Wisdom, Department of Embassies and Consulates and Governments, and also the Department of Social Duties and Interfaith Ministry. And so all of those who have received their credentials, as executive rulers, attachés, divine ministers in this government, they have their credentials and they are part of, one of these departments. It was assigned to them. For example, the Department of Library, of Archives and Wisdom is the department that I was assigned, and so forth and so on. So we have them active, and we're just trying to get our people, to come into the knowledge and pool their resources, brother. You know, so that's what we established.
Okay. Maybe I can re-ask the question again, brother, because you,
Mhm.
you said a lot of stuff, but I don't think you kind of answered the question, brother. So
Okay,
what exactly do you guys have established? Meaning,
what
I'm a
you talking
truck
about?
driver. Well,
Buildings?
yes, sir. I'm a truck. What I was gonna say, I'm a truck driver. So, do you have somewhere? I'm go from Boston to Virginia to
Gotcha.
California. I'm all over. So
Got you.
do you guys have an actual facility or land or anything physical where, you know, a brother like myself can say, "Oh man, these brothers really they're established. They have everything together." That was the question initially.
Well, you got to look at it like this, good brother. The government was established in around about 2007, right? And the main measures that we've been building to build on many different levels. For example, I got my own business. So we got different Moors, they got their own business here and there. They got Moors that's doing what they do. So this is how we sustain ourselves. But we're in the process of looking for land. But it's a certain measure we want to deal with in land because we don't want any type of land to actually put facilities on. It's a type of structure that we plan on building. But we have consulates, my brother, that are established in certain areas throughout the United States. And Moors, most of the structures that we've been dealing with, we rent structures, at the moment, and we in the process of building everything that need to be built at the same time. You can't build nothing when you ain't got the people, though, good brother. You see what I'm saying? That's the main thing. It take a nation to build a nation, and so that's where we at with it.
Yes, sir, brother. And you know, just to build with you, brother, it's okay to say nothing. Meaning, you know, if a brother asks, "Do y'all have any building structures?" It's okay to say, "Nah, brother, we don't have nothing."
Well,
You know what I mean? And it,
that's basically what I said. I
uh,
just went into the background and letting you know how we demonstrate. I
right,
wasn't trying to
right,
be disingenuous, which I told you exactly. We rent places,
right. So,
for what we do. I say because it takes, finances or whatever to build a nation.
yes,
No
sir.
big deal with that, you
Yes,
know.
sir. It's okay
And
if you
and
bro.
the main reason, though, good brother, because you have those who have not had the interest of the government at heart. We have people that want to get a group of people and take them off. You know how many people done left, trying to take people and start their own thing? We have a lot of splinter groups and offshoots that have spawned off from here. Some of the same Moors that you see out there now teaching, some of them was already in the demonstration, but they went out to the UCC and the paperwork and all that type of stuff, which we don't deal with. You see what I'm saying? So you can't build a pyramid, good brother, when people keep snatching bricks out of it. Do that make
Oh,
more sense to you?
well, I guess the answer saying that you guys don't have anything established right now, that makes more sense. But that's okay, brother.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing wrong with that. So next
Mm-hmm.
question is Shahid Shabazz. So how long were you a 5%er, brother? Or how long were you studying with those with the 5%ers?
I never been a 5% a good brother. I just know the teachings and the lessons.
Well,
When I
five
was
percent is just a poor righteous teacher. That's
Yeah,
all.
yeah, yeah,
But
most
you
definitely. But I'm talking about I wouldn't lie and say I was a part of the nation and gods and earths. I know it's just I know we got 85, 5, and 10%, but I
right.
just want to make it clear I've never been a part of the house, of our 5% family, but I studied their teachings and the lessons,
Yeah,
memorized a lot
they
of it.
don't have they don't have a house.
Yeah, well, they call it, they call their house the house of law school. You know,
Yeah, they don't.
it's
Hmm.
based on who you talking to. So
Hmm.
they did have a school back in the days. It's still one up there. As a matter of fact, Mecca, in New York, they had it. But like I said, I never been a part of that, but I memorized, certain measures back in the day, because anything that was dealing with Islam, I wanted to be knowledgeable in them areas. So I honored the
Okay.
one through.
So the question is, I'm gonna rephrase the
Mhm.
question. How long did you study with the 5%ers? Maybe that's a better question for you.
Yeah, it's like I say, 30 years ago, brothers, when I first, and I just kept on it. You know what a didactic scholar is, right? One that continues to study after they've been taught, so to
Okay.
speak.
So
So after I was given the lessons by
okay.
my brother
Okay.
Kasim McDonald, who's actually related to Grand Poobah now. That's where I got them lessons from,
Hmm.
and after I got the teachings from him, I put them on mine. I was trying to memorize everything, brother. I ain't gonna lie, I was intellectually greedy. That's why I still
So
got a lot
how
of
long you been with how long you been in the Moorish government?
I've been in the Moorish American government, bro, a little over 15 years now. Yeah,
A little over
been
15
been
years.
there.
Okay.
Yeah, a little over
So what?
15 years
So
now.
when you were studying with the 5%ers, what made you choose? I assume that you probably studied with the Sunnis or Sufis also, but what made you choose the Moorish American government and not
I
the
was
5%ers?
I was Moorish when I was studying with them brothers. You see, I was already Moorish then. I was just studying with them brothers. Like I was not only studying them, I studied with the Hebrews, Hebrew Israelites. I used to, break bread with a few Jehovah Witnesses. I broke bread with my NOI family. In fact, one of my brothers told me he want to see me this coming weekend. One of the good brothers. But so I'm a brother that draw with many different brothers, brother. I'm telling you, I was never really limited, but Islam was my basis in general. Moorish paradigm is there from the beginning. That's my acceptance from the beginning. I just honored and respect, just like when I studied and go into the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, I studied the teaching thoroughly. When I say thoroughly, I'm talking about literally same amount of time I've been here parallel. I've been pretty much, in the knowledge of all that information. And it's because I know our people had them different appeals, and I can speak to them rather than what somebody told me. Study the theology of time. Study message to the black man. Study our Savior has arrived. Study this is the one you have, you need not look for another. Study all of those things that our people study in order so that I can better be able to embrace them where they're at and take them where they need to go.
Okay, because the name Shahid Shabazz,
That's right.
Shahid, that's a very popular name with the
That's
Sunni, of
right.
course, very popular with that, and Shabazz, of course, that's 5% of Nation Islam and that arena there. So
Yep.
I just assume
Yeah,
if
those
you were,
names were given to me. Those
uh-huh.
names were all those attributes were given to me basically by all of my teachers. One of my teachers, gave me the name Shabazz, and another one of my teachers gave me the name Shahid, Qasim, the brother that gave me the lesson. The reason why he gave me that name Shahid, because I would speak, to him, and I would be speaking on certain things, that he was demonstrating before he would get ready to write, what he was finna lecture on.
Hmm.
And he said, brother, he was like, man, you been in my information looking at my cookbook. No, brother. I say I ain't looked in there, and I hadn't looked in there. And so that's what made him give me the name Shahid, one that bears witness to the truth, a witness to the truth, one that would die for the truth. So I didn't choose that name, just like I didn't choose Commission Adept Hereford. My chairman, as you've seen in the video, is the one that dubbed me with that. You see what I'm saying? Only
Hmm.
name that I did embrace out of my name, is Shahid, and Shabazz was there. But the Al Mohadiz portion is the moniker that I adopted in reminiscence of the Moors, the Al Muwahidun or the Unitarians, those who brought unity, when it was conflict. I adopted that and I passed that to my grandson,
So what
so
brought you? What brought you into the Moorish American government? What was it that made you decide to be a part of the Moorish American government?
well, I'm gonna be honest with you, brother. Prior to being what I came into, I was embraced by a brother, from Chicago, and I was wild back in my day. So I was on a street organization level. And the teachings that I received in that organization was Islamic. And that's what really exposed me to Islam from that aspect. And from me embracing that, teaching that I was given, it led me to Prophet Noble Ali. Because in that particular organization, the 5 principles of the star was love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. You see what I'm saying? And I didn't know that this was of Noble Drew Ali's teaching at the time. So just like I study now, I didn't go off of what that brother taught me and run with it. I wanted to know where this thing came from.
So was it
This
what
same,
the brother, was he GD or a BD?
nah, he was a Lord.
His Lord. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so and may he rise in power. The brother passed form, you know, in his
Okay.
sleep years ago. But
Okay.
that's how I was brought into the knowledge, you know, of self. And so I took that information to heart, you know, unlike some people. And be honest with you, I'm one of the ones that have been advocating, you know, trying to get brothers into the knowledge, you know, of self and so forth and so on. However, you know, I had to realize that some of them brothers, you know, on the level don't want to go into certain aspects because some of them don't want to deal with Islam. Some of them don't want to embrace their Fatiha. They don't want to deal with, you know, the Quran, and you know, and so that's a journey in and of itself. And they got a right to think how they think. But you know, I would tell the brothers all the time, if it ain't about love, truth, peace, and freedom, you know, then it's justice that's always on the manifest. And so I give honors to that upcoming, because if it wasn't for that upcoming and me being exposed to that brother, that's how Allah chose to bring it to me. Because I had a rough background, good brother. And I don't think nobody could have came to me with Sunniism, you know, even the NOI teaching at the time where I was. Because you got to realize we from Florida, bro. You know, only thing we know down here is ignorance. You know what I mean? We ain't up there in New York and Chicago and New Jersey where people constantly expose the truth. All we know is dope dealing, gang banging, dope slanging, iron slanging. You know how it go. And that's why we
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
have
most
a big
definitely.
community. That's why we don't have a big community of people down here. So I'm
Most
like
definitely.
a
That's why
diamond
you
in the rough.
that's why you caught my interest, brother. And that's why I'm trying to
Mhm,
figure out
mhm.
you know, the Moorish Science Temple or
Yeah.
the
But
Moorish
that's
American
how I came
government.
into the mosque.
It's not really predominant in Florida. You
No,
know,
sir. You got
you
some
see.
temples here, but
Oh,
you don't. They ain't that many far and wide. It's a temple here, you know. But we wasn't getting along to where not no beef or nothing like that. They was on the Saudi L, and Saudi L was trying to poison them against my teacher, you know. And
mm,
so I couldn't establish no unity with them brothers. You see what I'm saying? I was reaching out with the olive branch, but they got slipped that hater more Mickey, you know. And you
right.
already know how it go from there.
Okay, so specifically, what brought you to the the teachings of Noble Drew Ali? Okay,
Yeah,
that's what I'm
I'm
trying to
telling
figure
you,
out. I
I'm
still.
telling you
Mm,
exactly what it was, bro. It was the
okay.
literature that I had received, and I took that stuff to heart. I wanted to know where it came from. I
Well, the
wanted to
vice
know.
lords, that's you know, them lords, you know, that kind of come from 5%ers, brother. That's kind of rooted in five
No, I
percenters.
wouldn't.
So,
I wouldn't say that because I know the history well. But what you know, actually, they was around before the 5%ers. You know, and a lot of the 5%ers actually, I will say this: the colors that were taken in the nation was adopted by some of the elders, because the teaching of that nation, that organization, brother, which it was a lawfully chartered organization. You know, it wasn't considered a street gang. It was that at one time, and then it was converted into, you know, a lawfully chartered organization. You know, and Ben and Lee want to give honors to that elder because he up there right now got a whole museum in Chicago, you know, with all of that, the CVL, you know, when they was mobilized and everything. So they adopted some of what it is, the teachings was adopted by the elders. Some of them were 5%ers. Some of them were NOI, and some of them were Orthodox, you see, and some of them was Pan-African. So all of those elements was added into that body from different brothers, so to speak. And so quite naturally, we was exposed to the concept of 360 degrees of knowledge, and, you know, all types of different measures, you know, the Fatiha, like I was saying, the Holy Divine, you know, that concept is more, it's the five principles of love, truth, but
yes,
everybody
sir.
don't
The
live by it.
original three founders that came out from the lords, and like it's like I said, I ain't gonna say I was living in that era, but you know, I'm a little bit older than you. But the three founders that came from that was the original founder, they came out of prison. You know what I mean? And they were 5%ers.
No,
And of
sir.
course, you know, okay, well,
Yeah, that's incorrect. I
let
gotta
me,
correct you
well,
on that, brother. Who the
okay, well,
three
let me,
founders? Who the
well, let
three
me say,
founders you talking about?
okay, well, listen, brother. One reason I don't like to call in to shows, brother, because you know
No, we
sometimes
ain't
y'all do
arguing.
all.
We ain't arguing. Go ahead,
Yeah,
bro.
but you do majority of the talking, brother. Now, I mean, and then when your client or your guest is saying a few things, brother, you just cut it off and you just go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. So
Well,
I'm
it's
just trying
not
to get a
so.
couple words.
I ain't tripping on that, but I got to correct you when you say certain things that
Uh,
ain't right.
uh,
You feel me?
okay, brother. Okay,
Go ahead.
okay.
Go ahead.
No, I tell you what, brother, we can change the subject. But like I say, majority of the times I call in, this is why I normally don't call in because, even Sarnet at studio, man, unless you actually doing a presentation, the guests that do call in, they chop up what you say and to over talk the brother and stuff like that. So don't worry about that subject, brother. Anyway, your presentation that I called at the end it was a good bill, brother. I was trying to get a better understanding, because you don't see very many Moorish American government or just Moorish brothers in Florida in general. A lot of us in Florida are getting into Aboriginals because even as you said yourself, you say your mom taught you that you was a Cherokee, correct?
Now I say my grandmother.
Okay, your grandmother taught you as a Cherokee, right?
That's right. That's what
Okay,
they teach.
yes, sir, yes, sir. So a lot of the Aboriginal movement in Florida is very strong, brother. Is gaining a lot of momentum. So I was just trying to get a better understanding of your history, man. And I went back and saw some of the videos with you and Tahiti, brother
Tell me.
Tahiti. Yeah, brother. And I saw you debate with Tahaka Bay. Tahaka
Mm-hmm.
Bay. So yeah, I'll say, man, the brother, you have a strong love for noble Drew Ali. And brother, I give you honor and praise for that, you know. And I just want to get a better understanding of how you got into the Morris Science Temple and your background and stuff like that. But with that being said, brother, I don't want to hold you up. I know it's late. And like you say, it's your show. I just want to come on and say, hey, bro, keep up the good work. Good brother.
Yeah, all is well, good brother. And like I said, I'm very transparent about what I demonstrate. And like I say, we come from a different era, so to speak. And I give honors to that brother who embraced me as he did. When he embraced me the way he did. Because he had to be patient with me. Because in that information that I received in some of them pieces, like I didn't want to say in the name of Allah. Because I was coming out of Christian background at the time. And I told the brother, I said, brother, can I say God? Instead of saying Allah in that Fatiha. And I learned that Fatiha in Arabic before I even came into Islam fully. And so just dealing with the history of the brothers, and the foundation, of that aspect, that's what caused me to seek more knowledge. And so I never look down on where I come from. I never do that, because that's what was a part of my foundation in coming to who I am now. But, I'm giving you the history on how I came into being who I am, and so from that aspect, seeking one of the things we teach even in that doctrine, in the LOL, because it was different portions of law that was revealed, laws of Islam, laws of lords, and so forth and so on. But in the LOI information, a lot of that appeals to, certain things that's Islamically, on a heavy level, So from that aspect, that's what catapulted me into study, I would say. And I've been studying ever since, bro. My studies, based upon what I came up out of that, is what led me to different teachers. Because at every level, it was time for me to unfold to another teacher. I met another teacher, and I took heed to those teachers, you know. And so I give honors to all of them for everything they added on to me along the way, And all I can say is they did well, because I wasn't one to just take information and run with it, and just say, oh, this is what it is. I did my own research on all of that, from dealing with on that level all the way up through every particular body of knowledge that I came through. And one thing I learned from my 5% family is show and prove. And that's what I do. That's why you'll see me with receipts, and information backing up what I'm saying. And I love not only Prophet Noble Drew Ali, I love all of my people. That's what has always been with me too, even from a biblical stage. I've always wanted to see our people as one, good brother. So no matter what transition I came through, like I was taught by my brother, the young brother that embraced me on the street level, you know, that whatever you put into a brother, that's what you're gonna get out of brother. You know, he didn't teach me to kill our people. He didn't teach me to harm our people, even if they was demonstrating, under a different flag. He taught me to respect everybody, and when I came to find later that there was more division within the ranks of some of our beloved brothers, you know, um, I seen that most of us, our conflicts come from within on all levels. And the same thing can be said for our other brothers on the other side of, the five, so to speak. But the thing is that there was always a core doctrine before there was a such thing as people and folks. There was what you call LSD, and from that aspect, we was working together. There was a concept of all is one. You see, there was also a concept of brothers of struggle. All of those concepts represented those different bodies being one. And that's what I, pretty much embraced. So, I had cousins and brothers and all of them, they was under the six, but we close. You know what I mean? Because I didn't get caught into the indoctrination. I embraced the righteous teaching, or what we call the fruitful teachings, and they made me better, bro. Because I believe in those teachings at that level. I didn't just get it and recite it. It changed me literally inside out. Because it's good teaching in there if somebody wanted to really learn from it.
So
So
another question. So another question, brother, with the debates. And
mhm,
I'm be honest with you. Like when you debated Tahaka Bay, he
mhm.
got you pretty good, brother. He got you pretty good.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
because you didn't understand the subject matter. The
who
subject
me?
matter was who was following Noble Drew Ali's teachings, good brother.
You say
And when
I
it
didn't
came to
understand the
dealing
subject
with,
matter?
yeah, you didn't. You couldn't have, because
Oh yeah.
even he admitted that the subject matter wasn't right, and he got belligerent in the end. And also, what you don't know, it came out that these judges was actually biased against me. They admitted to it. JJ 7000 will tell you that. He was
Mhm.
just in here. Literally, these people said that they went against me, for that reason. A couple of different situations like that. Only time I really won is when we got somebody outside of the platform. You got to look at it. The people that were judging me were some of the same people I had beat up in the back chat. You see what I'm saying? So
Well,
I'm just
well,
coming
well.
up
Like I
in
said,
there.
I've
They
listened
ain't
to.
gonna rock with me if I done beat them up. But
Yeah.
that's what
Well,
we were
the thing
dealing with
is,
at the time.
I
But,
rock with you, brother, because
yeah,
you from
but
Florida. But I listened to that debate a few times, brother, and he got you. Know what I mean, and the only reason I say he got you,
yeah,
right?
I
He just
would
saying,
disagree. You got a right to feel that way.
well, I was going to give you the details of why,
Mm,
right? The core of the teachings of Noble Drew Ali is basically the Circle Seven and the 101, right? And I must say that a lot of what you teach and your chairman teach, it adds on to that. And like one of the
that's why
judges
I
say, man,
said you wouldn't be able to understand what I was saying. See, brother, what you got to realize is Prophet Noble.
well, can I finish though, brother? Can I finish? Or
Yeah,
you just
yeah, but you prove me right though, good brother. Go
right,
ahead, go
right?
ahead, and then I
Because
explain to you
I know
in a second.
right, but I know whenever you explain, it's gonna be 5 minutes of explanation.
No, that's how
And
you
this is
taking it.
right,
That's how you taking it.
and this is
Go
what I
ahead.
was saying before, brother. Love,
Hmm.
you love the prophet, and you love
I
the Moorish American government.
love
But
our people.
sometimes love is blind, brother. Sometimes love is blind. And sometimes that blind love would make you struggle. Like when I was in the nation,
Hmm.
one of the things I struggled with was this whole situation with Malcolm X, right?
Hmm.
Was the Nation of Islam involved with with Malcolm X?
Of
And
course they was.
I didn't. Well, you know what? For years, I went on defending that information
I defended
until,
them too.
yeah, I defended that information until I heard Dr. Khalid Muhammad stood up and said, "Yeah, he did it," And what the fuck you go do about it? From that moment on, brother, right? I had to learn to be stronger or be above love. You feel me? Because love would make you blind. So I said all of that to say that with Noble Drew Ali and with the teachings, brother. I mean, to say, yeah, it was plagiar. Yeah, he got it from damn the Aquarian gospel. I
Who
mean, like,
said
yeah.
that? Who
Oh,
said he got it from the Aquarian
well,
gospel?
let me finish, brother. I'm gonna get it out.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
not
listening
long
to
winded.
you.
I'm
I'm
not
listening
long
to you,
winded.
but I'm thinking you speaking on the debate, but you bringing up stuff that wasn't in the debate. I never say, yeah, we got them from the Aquarian gospel. Did Tahaka say that? I'm just
Right,
trying to
but
see. Go ahead, brother. I'm just trying to make sure because we didn't mention nothing like that. Go ahead.
right. See, and this is what I was saying before. Like when when I watch this video again, my words are gonna be cut off because every time you cut me off, brother, your the voice over IP, it eliminates my words and it's just chopped up. So what I'm trying to say is, if you let me say what I'm about to say, brother, then you can, I'm not gonna cut you off because it's your show.
Oh, I'm not
So
trying
I'm
to
just
be contentious with you, brother. I'm just trying to establish a point and get where you're coming from, brother.
right,
In the
but we can't
dialogue.
if we cutting each other off, brother. That's what I'm trying to say. Because when
So,
you go, you go on for about 5 minutes.
so
All I'm
okay.
trying to
So
say is
are you talking, good brother?
all I'm trying to say is this, brother.
Go ahead.
With your debate skills, the two
Mm-hmm,
debates I saw you
mm-hmm,
lost both of them. You lost the one with Taka
mm-hmm,
Bay, and you
mm-hmm.
lost the one with what's his name, Tahuti or whatever.
Okay.
Now this freaking Wesley Muhammad destroyed this dude, like
Uh-huh.
destroyed him, ate him for lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And all I'm trying to say is, brother, with your debate skills, right? And the reason you losing these debates is the love you have for the Moorish American government and the love you have for the prophet. And there's certain subjects that you would be better off saying, yeah, it happened like that. And yeah, this and that is this and that. That will only make your point stronger. That's the only point I was trying to get across before you cut it off with Hawker Bay and what it said in the debate. No, I never said that was said in the debate. I was just trying to just giving you a jewel, brother. Just giving
Okay,
you a
good
jewel.
brother.
So,
Good brother. Let me
mhm,
say this now. You know,
okay.
in regards to dealing with both of them discussions, I just told you, the background behind that. I'm literally dealing with a biased judging system. And really, I didn't care whether win or lose at that time. I cared about getting the information out there to the people. And if you go back, you actually see people saying that I won both of them debates. Even what his name, because Tahaka wouldn't answer the questions that I was asking him. JJ said that. Did you see that part of the debate? Because that mean that you lose if you don't want to answer certain questions as well. But my main thing is this: the conversation that me and Tahaka was having, brother, is who is following the teachings of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And you say adding on, but what you don't understand, brother, is that Prophet Noble Drew Ali said he was going to lead a European here long enough to teach the Moors how to run a government. So that establishes intent. So my chairman took that part of the movement. For example, the MST of A, Tahaka ain't even following the MST of A. You see, he wasn't even a part and partial of the a grand body. This man done went and did his own thing, and I pointed that out, but that was over the heads of those judges. Some of them didn't want to hear it, but if you going against your teacher that gave you your credentials, then your credentials ain't right. You see? So another thing in regards to dealing with Tehuti, I exposed Tehuti in regards to dealing with the Circle 7 and showing, and I did this the other night. They see me, the people that watched the video. I went over it again with Levi H. Dowling. Levi H. Dowling was not the writer of the Moorish Holy Quran. We established that, unless you want to believe that he got it from the Akashic records. You see, Prophet Noble Drew Ali tell you he got it from the Muslims of India and Palestine and Egypt. He wasn't disingenuous about that.
Can I ask you
And
a question on
so
that?
I showed the proof of that right there.
Right. Well, can
All
I ask
he
you
had
one
was
question on
his
that one?
own rendition of the teaching that was already there. Go ahead.
Okay, but watch this though, brother. Watch this.
Mhm.
You just said that the prophet said that he got it from the Muslims of India, right?
That's exactly what he said. He didn't
Okay,
lie and
what?
say he got it from the Akashic
Okay,
records. Go
okay.
ahead.
What? Okay. What language did he get it from? When he got it from the Muslims of India, what language was it in?
Obviously, the version that he had it in was the language he understood. But Levi would tell you in his document that the original manuscript was in Sanskrit. And I actually went into this the other night.
I'm not asking you that, brother. I'm asking you what language did he get it from the Indians, the
See,
Muslims of
that's how I
India?
can tell you ain't listening. I told you, obviously
Oh
he got
my.
it. Didn't I say
Okay,
didn't I say he got it in
he
the
could under
English language?
no, you
See
didn't
what
say
I'm
that. You
saying?
said it. You said the
Listen,
language that he
listen,
understands. You didn't
listen,
say
good
that,
brother.
brother.
Listen, good
Oh
brother.
my goodness.
I
Oh
say
my
obviously he got it in the language that he
that he
spoke.
understand.
That's right,
Right.
and he
So
understood. So
so
that's
if he was
answering your question,
no, it's not. If he listen, the prophet could
good brother.
understand different languages.
Good
So I'm
brother.
asking you, okay.
The
So
questions that you asking, though, brother, all them
mhm,
questions you asking still don't negate the fact that that document existed originally in other people's hand, and Levi says it himself. He only
right.
said he didn't get his from them. I showed
Right.
all this to the people the other night.
But young
I
brother,
just showed this to the people,
I'm just trying to show you something, right? And
but
I'm just
but
trying to
but
help you
it's
so you
not
can win some
relevant.
so you can
It's
so you
not
can win some.
relevant, good brother.
I'm just I'm trying to help you so you can win some of these debates, brother. You can't
No, it
listen.
ain't.
You can't be from Florida and losing these debates like that,
No,
brother.
no, good brother. Good brother. Listen, listen,
Uh-huh.
listen. Like I
Right.
said, when you going against somebody, that's just like me going up in a Eurocentric environment, knowing that the European is dominating this and they Klansmen. You see what I'm saying? And me personally, I have the fortitude in me to
Right,
where I
but
know.
you're getting off the
Listen,
subject,
no,
brother.
I'm
I'm
not.
the
No,
question
I'm not.
is
No, I'm not. Hold up,
what
brother. Hold,
language did Noble Drew
hold up.
Ali get it from the Muslims of
Hold up.
India?
Hold
Okay,
up, good brother.
if he got it in
Good brother.
English,
Good
that
brother.
means the document should be somewhere in
Good
India
brother.
in English, right?
Good brother. Listen to
So
what I'm saying.
the point is,
Listen
brother,
to what I'm
this
saying, good brother.
he did not
The
get it
whole
in
point
English,
is,
brother.
uh,
He got it from the Aquarian gospel, brother. And listen,
nah, I would
and to admit that
I don't admit that
it
because
doesn't make nothing.
that is not what he said.
But that's why I
I'm
say
going off
love
what
is
he
blind,
said.
brother.
No, it ain't
Your
no
love
love
for
is
the pro
blind.
it
It
is
ain't no
blind,
love
brother.
is blind. Good brother.
Oh,
Listen,
brother.
it ain't
But
love is
okay,
blind.
brother.
If
All right, yeah,
Levi,
brother.
if Levi said
Hmm.
that he got that book, so to speak, where he got it from what he said, the Akashic records. He said he got it from the Akashic records, but he said that the book already existed, but he didn't get his from them. In other
Right,
words, the teachers
but
that taught Prophet Noble
but
Drew
Shabbat
Ali were
Shaheed,
different,
you're shooting yourself in the foot.
bro. Noble Drew Ali didn't
Levi stole
study.
it from the Indians, and
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
the prophet stole it from him.
No,
That's
sir.
what happened. Okay,
No,
brother.
sir,
So you
brother.
shooting yourself in the foot. But
Because
that's
okay,
that's what I mean.
Did Levi
That's
know
what I mean.
Sanskrit? Good brother, did
That's
Levi
what I
know
mean.
Sanskrit? Did
This
Levi
is
know Sanskrit?
okay. This is
Did
what I
Levi?
mean when they say
Oh
love
no,
is
I'm asking
blind,
you.
brother.
No, brother,
You love the prophet so much.
establish
You
a
love the
premise.
prophet so much that
Good brother,
you can't admit
you want to
to say that.
establish a
Hey,
premise. You
okay,
want you want to
it from the
establish a premise.
he got
You
it from
want
the
to
white boys
you
and he
want to
chopped it and
establish.
screwed it and he gave it to us.
You
That
want to
doesn't make him
establish.
less than what he is.
You
That
want to
doesn't make him less.
establish a premise, good brother, but you got to
But
answer this
but
question.
but what
Listen to me.
and that's what I'm
Listen
trying to
to me,
say as
good
far as
brother. I
how
ain't
you're
even
losing these
arguing with you right
debates.
now. I'm not
Well,
arguing with you. I know you're trying to
right.
bring points of
I
contention.
no,
Yes,
brother.
you are. Yes, you are. Because you
No,
won't even
brother.
let me finish saying nothing. I ain't cutting you off on my show.
You are,
You
brother.
trying to make points of contention. So I ask you, if you're gonna use that type of mindset for the prophet, then do you have that same mindset for Levi?
Brother,
Levi
you
said they existed in Sanskrit. Can you
okay?
prove
So
that he translated?
Let me respond to
Can you
that, brother.
prove that Levi translated these documents?
Listen, let me respond to that, brother.
Go ahead.
If
It's
I
a
go
yes
on
or
a
no question.
okay, if I go in the store and steal something, and then you steal that from me, right? It doesn't matter
You
how
still
I
didn't
stole it,
answer
brother.
my question, brother.
Oh
I asked
my
you,
goodness.
did Levi,
That's the answer to your question. Levi
brother, you
stole
didn't
it
answer. Answer my
from the
question. Did
Indians
Levi,
of India.
can you prove, good brother, that Levi translated from Sanskrit that document? Can you prove that?
Brother, that's irrelevant. The fact
Yeah,
is,
no, sir, no,
word
sir.
for
It's not
word of
relevant.
what the
It's
white
not
boy wrote
irrelevant, good
down,
brother.
the prophet put it in the circle of
That's how I
seven,
can
brother, and
tell.
it
That's
doesn't make
how I
him
can tell.
less.
That's how I can tell you being disingenuous now.
I
Now I
no,
got to cut you.
I'm
I
just
got
trying
to
to help
cut
you.
you.
I'm just trying to help you
I
from
got to
losing these
cut you
debates,
now,
brother.
good brother. I got to cut you. My
Okay.
desire,
Go ahead and cut me,
my
brother. Go ahead
desire
and cut me.
is to teach my people unity,
Okay.
not to try to find every point of contention to show division between my people.
Mm-hmm.
And if you see me up here demonstrating unity and you come up in here with that, and I done let you do it a couple of times, but now I got to pull my scimitar out
Pull it out. Pull it
and
out, brother. Pull it
demonstrate,
out.
without, I don't have to get
So
crazy about it.
so
So my
me trying
thing
to
is,
help you win a
hold
debate
up,
is
hold
me
up, hold up.
trying to
I'm
put you
not here
down. Is
to
that what
win
you're saying?
debates. I'm not here to win debates. Only reason I'm even dealing with these things now with other individuals that challenge me is to
Mm-hmm.
deal with them, but most of them running. Most of them running. So when these things were set up in that platform, when I'm going up in a realm of Hebrews that don't like Moors, like I said, I beat these brothers up in the back chat, and then they end up judging. I expected that to happen on
But
both
brother,
fronts.
we
But
we talked
my
about that
desire,
before, bro.
my
Me and you talked
desire,
about that on our last
listen,
bill.
my desire though was to
Mm-hmm.
teach the people. And in that debate, so-called, Tehudi was not able to disprove what I brought because I brought documentation with Levi himself saying that the document existed in Sanskrit. So you have to prove, brother, that Levi was able to pull that out here. You have to prove that Levi taught the prophet. If he says that he got it from the Indians and Muslims of Palestine, it don't surprise me because there are plenty documents that were written in Sanskrit that have been translated, such as Unto Thee I Grant. One of them, another portion that came from brothers of Tibet as well. You see, so you can't say that it comes from Levi when these documents were out here all over the place. I'm going with Prophet Noble Drew Ali said. He didn't say he
You
got
know
it
why I
from
get
the Akashic records. So you saying if you saying he got it from Levi, then you believe Levi got this
you know why I
information
give you a
from
lot of props though,
the
brother?
Akashic records, good brother.
Do you know I give you a lot do you know why I give you a lot of props, brother?
All is well,
You're
good brother.
willing to fight a losing battle. You're willing to fight a losing battle, brother. And
That's in
listen,
your
and you
mind.
know what? All I'm trying to
That's
say
in
is
your mind.
okay, brother. And all I'm trying to say is
There is no
I went through
losing
that
battle
same
when it comes to
process too.
teaching your people, brother.
Oh, okay. Yeah, what I'm trying to say is I went through that process too, brother. When they were saying did Elijah Muhammad sleep with the secretary? You know what I say now? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, he did. Did they have something to do with Malcolm X? Hell yeah. You know what? Why try to defend that? Because at the end of the day, right? It's just taken away from the
Two
bigger show.
different,
So,
two different measures, brother.
no, okay, right. So I'm just
Two
trying to
different
display to
measures.
I'm just trying to display to you, brother, the way they're getting you with these debates, right? Is really the topics, and you it's like you biting on that hook.
Good
No,
brother, you say
I'm not saying
getting
this,
me.
and
You
I'm not
say
saying this,
getting me, but
and I'm
you
oh my
still
goodness, you see.
overlooking.
You
You
think I'm trying
still
to put you down,
overlooking.
brother.
No, I
And I'm
don't.
not I'm not trying
No,
to
I
put you down,
don't.
good brother.
No, I don't. Because
I've said
after
over and over and over. I
no, I
said over
don't.
and over and over.
No,
Oh,
I
go ahead.
don't. Because
Go ahead.
after I told you over and over that
Hmm.
these people literally came out and said that they was being biased, bro. And I'm telling you this, and you still talking about you
Right,
lost the debate. It don't make
but
no sense.
listen what I'm
If
trying
they
to say.
telling you that
Listen what I'm trying to say,
they was
Shabazz.
already against me, I'm not worrying about that. I'm not here to defend
Brother
that.
Shabazz, what I'm trying to say
I'm
is
teaching my people. I don't
right, what
care
I say
about
is
that, brother. I don't have no ego to that
right,
point,
but what I'm trying to say is
of
I
win
watch
and
the
losing. I'm
videos.
not thinking
I,
about that.
right,
That's you
I'm saying
thinking like that.
what
That
I'm trying
don't
to
take
explain
nothing
to you,
away from
brother.
me, teacher.
See, you just finna talk on and on. All I'm trying to say is, brother, I watch the videos, right? I'm not saying what they said or whatever. And what I'm saying, brother, okay? And this ain't no trying to put you down.
That's
Now,
your opinion. You
what we can
entitled
say,
to that.
right? I'm a guest. That's why we calling
But like
and
I
ask
said
questions,
to
right?
you, but
The
like I
bill.
said, good brother, your opinion is wrong because it's based on what you didn't even know what the subject matter was dealing with. Just
Which
like
on
they
which?
didn't know. You was trying to
Yes, brother.
judge.
I know both.
You judged
Yeah,
it based. You judged on
I
what you
know.
say who was following the
No,
prophet.
brother.
If
Yes, who
Prophet
was
Noble
following the
Drew Ali
prophet's teachings,
said,
brother?
if Prophet Noble Drew Ali said that he was going to leave the European here long enough to teach the Moors how to run a government, and he said that the supreme laws will be passed down to the Moors later, the general laws he had given to them. You see what I'm saying? If he said this, you know, if he said this, then what do you think the meaning behind this whole measure is, good brother? It is called
Okay, so
unfoldment into government. He wanted the
okay,
Moors to be a government, so that is following what the prophet taught. When we say divine constitution, instead of being members, we became citizens of our own
hmm
government. You understand? That's all it was.
so
Instead of
so
flying the
so so
Moroccan flag,
so
which
young
don't
brother,
belong to the Moors, we
so
came
young
with our
brother.
own flag. There's
Okay,
nothing
so young
wrong with
brother,
that.
listen to me
And
though.
that
Listen to me
symbol
one
was
second.
brought by Prophet Noble Drew Ali. So
All right,
show
listen to me.
me where those things were not of the prophet.
Okay, listen to me 1 second though, young brother.
Point it
All
out.
right, all right, listen.
Since you say, because you got to have the knowledge to be able to judge. I want to hear
Oh,
you do that.
oh,
I'm gonna be
okay.
quiet.
Listen, brother.
I'm finna
Listen to
zip
me.
it,
Listen to me, young brother.
and I
Let
want
me
you to
explain.
point out what was against what the prophet taught.
Yeah, we
And
could.
what we do.
That's
Do that
lightweight.
right
But
now.
that's
Do that.
lightweight, brother.
Do
But
that right
that's
now then.
if you let me talk, brother, I
I'm
can
finna let
get a
you.
couple.
Go ahead. You
Can I
finna
get a
do
couple
that.
words out?
Yeah,
Let me
you
get a couple
finna do
words
that
out.
though, right? You finna do that. I'm finna let you talk, but
Let
are
me
you
explain
gonna
something
do
to
that?
you, brother. Let me explain something to you. Right,
Mm-hmm.
Prophet Noble Drew Ali,
Mm-hmm.
out of the mouth of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that Prophet Noble Drew Ali was one of the greatest men to ever live in the wilderness of North America. Right.
Okay.
But the problem is his followers, right? The people, the Moors of the day, y'all, man, the Moors are so disunited, brother. Let me listen to me carefully, right? It's the followers of the prophet that make the prophet look bad. The prophet don't make himself look bad,
So let me ask
bro.
you a
Y'all, no, no,
question,
no, no.
good brother.
I'm not finished,
I'm
brother.
gonna ask
I'm
you a
not finished.
question.
I'm not finished. I'm not
What
finished,
I'm
brother.
doing up
I'm
here
not
right now,
finished.
right?
I'm not finished.
Yeah, but listen to
the
what I'm
the
saying. I ain't gonna
Morris
let you.
Science Temple. I'm not. No,
I ain't gonna let
brother.
you.
Let me
Good
make my
brother.
point though. Can I make
Good
my
brother.
point? Can
Does
I make my
that
point?
have anything to do with the
But can
work
I
that
make my
I'm
point
doing?
though? Oh, you can I make my
Does
point?
does what Moors do
Oh,
have to
brother,
do
you
with
gonna
what
do
I'm doing?
all the talking, brother. Can
No,
I
we're
make my
gonna let
point
you
though?
speak, but I'm asking you a question. To see,
Right, but
brother,
you keep cutting my bill,
what
brother. You
you are
cut my bill.
doing,
You
what
say
you are doing.
you're
I'm not
pulling out
gonna
the
sit here.
scimitar, right, brother, to
I'm
cut
not
my
gonna
bill.
sit here. I'm not
You're
gonna
not putting
sit here.
you're
I'm
not
not
putting it
gonna
out
sit
on
here and let
facts.
you throw things out here and not be able to actually express
Okay,
the fullness of
right.
it.
So
So
brother,
we ain't gonna
when
let you do
so
that.
so when the guests
You're
come on your
making these
show, brother.
claims against the Moors,
No,
but
no,
what
no, no.
has we done in the
No,
government? What have
I'm
I
gonna
done to hinder you? What has the Moorish American government done to hinder you? How have I demonstrated disunity on this
okay.
platform tonight?
You want me to answer
Was
that?
this platform dealing with disunity tonight? Was it
Yes.
on any other night? How?
Okay, let me tell you
What
how.
did I talk tonight? You say you didn't hear what I
Oh,
taught.
okay. Oh, but
So
you
how
just
can you
asked
say
me a
it has?
question
I'm
though.
gonna let you answer this. I want to hear this. The audience watching too.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yes. I'm glad they're watching, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, the nation, the planet Earth, right,
Mm-hmm.
is choosing sides with war. Okay. We got in America, we sent over $114 billion to Ukraine. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, you see what's going on. US have two aircraft carriers over with Israel, right? Fighting against Muslims or Muslims, right? And when we have distractions, right? Brothers over here arguing about nothing, okay? Arguing about nothing. And then when you find out, okay, well, bro, we go take a look at you. What you got? What do they have? Nothing, brother. They're on YouTube trying to get clicks, not saying you, brother. See, I'm not saying you, but just in general,
Hey, bro,
we
you know
have, we have,
you giving me agent provocateur vibes right now.
okay.
You know,
Oh,
because
I am.
despite the olive
Because you asked
branch,
me a question. You asked me a question though,
no,
but you
because
don't want me to
despite
answer
the
though.
olive branch being given, I can hear the subtle attacks.
No,
You know,
no. See, you
you
don't want
trying
me
to
to
be
answer the
nice,
question though, brother.
you trying to
But
be nice, nasty
you
about
ask
it.
it.
I'm
No,
letting you
no,
talk,
no. But you asked me a
but
question
you
though.
ain't addressed nothing I said. I say,
But you
brother, show
asked me a
me.
question.
I
Uh-huh.
say, show me how I'm demonstrating this union right now. This class that I taught, demonstration, and you talk all over that, bro. You say
Well,
that we over here demonstrating disunity. So show me how I was teaching disunity.
no, I didn't say that's what you said, brother. What I said is
You
this.
did say that's what was
I
going
didn't.
on
Well,
on this show
play
tonight.
tape back. I said that a
I'm
lot
gonna,
of you
I'm gonna
brothers.
let you. I want you to go back and watch.
I said a distraction, brother. You know what a
You the
distraction is?
distraction.
Okay.
You the
Uh,
distraction
okay, brother.
this
Well,
morning.
all right, good brother. I'm gonna let you go, brother. Now I don't want you to take it. the wrong way because it's going
No,
left.
brother, ain't no
It's going
taking it
left
the wrong
field.
way. You said what
But
it is. You ain't gonna
no,
pee on the leg and tell me it's raining, bro.
okay.
I
Well, you
see
asked me
you.
a
I
question
see
though,
where you
brother. You
coming
asked me a
from.
question, and you asked
I
me a
ain't got
question,
no
good brother.
problem with you
And
answering questions. The problem
I
is,
just called
the
I just
problem
called I
is
just
when I
called the
give
line to
you,
ask you, how did you come into the teachings of Noble Drew
and I
Ali?
told you
How
that,
did you come into the Moorish
and
American
you went
government?
into all of the areas.
And then I asked you about some of the debates.
Good brother.
Brother, you got emotional,
Like
brother.
for example, you ain't
But
got no
anyway,
discipline.
I'm gonna let it go,
You
brother.
ain't
This
got
your
no
show.
discipline right now.
I'm gonna let it go,
You
brother.
know, I'm over here letting you speak.
Okay, good brother.
You over talking the host, and I don't even trip like that. You know what I mean? So my
Over
thing
talking the
is, good
host.
brother,
Okay,
conversation, is having a dialogue. Here, I don't bang on my guests. That's not what I'm trying to do.
you do, brother. You
I'm
do.
in here
You over
dealing with
talk and you do
unity.
majority of the talking, brother.
No, what it boiled
If you add
down
up the
to, you
minutes
don't
of this
like what's being
conversation,
heard.
brother.
You don't like what's being heard,
No,
and
brother. Listen,
anybody that watch you
listen.
for the last couple of nights, brother,
No,
brothers
that's
been,
just the opposite,
you
brother.
see this right here?
On every platform.
Brothers in this chat calling you out right now. They've been calling you out
That's
nights
fine. That's
before this
fine. But
because they see you. They see what you're
every
doing, good brother.
platform, I like your videos on every
They see what you're
platform.
doing.
When you're on side netter, I'm the one I go support you. But
Yeah,
behind the scenes, brother, if
I
you
hear
know
you.
what, if I was able to call you offline,
If
we would
if
have this conversation offline, good brother. Because I really
no,
don't want it to be
brother, you
online.
intend
Because
to
I'm
do
not trying to.
exactly what you're doing, and I'm cool with that. I ain't mad
Okay,
at you upset. I
send
understand you. That's the way you think,
send me your number,
but
good
you
brother.
ain't listen,
I was
listen.
asking you before. Listen. I said I'm a truck driver. I can come. I'm like, brother, do y'all have a temple? Do y'all have a
Yeah,
building I can come visit and learn more about it? You
yeah,
said no. So the
yeah.
only way to really get in contact with something is through
Yeah, I
is
rather
through your
build
chats,
as we
brother.
I rather build as we build now, until the near
Okay.
future I can see a little difference. I gotta observe you a little bit more, brother. Because at the end of the day, like I
Okay.
said, all of these videos that's being shown here are being shown to educate our people. It's not to try to make them Moors, uplift the Moorish paradigm over anything. These people that's here listening to this information, they know me. They don't see me demonstrate enough. And a lot of these brothers have their particular school of thought, you know, but they respectful in what they demonstrate. You, on the other hand, I ask you a question. You say we demonstrating this unity. You ain't showed me how we was demonstrating that.
I said
The brothers in
distraction,
here
brother.
saying,
I said
how is
distraction,
what we
brother.
talking about
I
a
didn't say
distraction
disunity,
from what we
distraction.
speaking of? How is what's being spoken on here tonight a distraction? Demonstrate that, brother.
Okay, you go cut me off in after 3 words, or
I'm
it's
gonna
no
let
use
you
in me
speak.
talking. But
Show
you
me how
demonstrate.
this what we was demonstrating was a distraction.
Okay, okay. Bite through our 7-4, right? Time and what must be done, brother. Okay. As you can see, the nations of the earth is gathering together for war, right? And when you have black men, okay, over here arguing and debating, right, about a
Bro, I'm not
historical.
talking about
See, there
nobody
you go,
arguing.
there you go, there you
Because
go,
what you
brother.
saying
There
don't
you go,
relate to what's going
there
on,
you
but I'm
go,
asking
there
you
you
about
go. But go
this,
ahead, brother.
brother.
Go
I'm
ahead, brother.
asking you
I tell you what,
specifically. I'm
I'm gonna
asking
let you
you
go. I'm gonna let
specifically
you go,
about
brother. And
this. That's why
I
I
was
say you
still,
disingenuous.
I'm still gonna support your videos, brother.
Yeah, you
I'm a
cool.
thumbs up. I'm gonna
You
subscribe to
cool,
all of your
brother, but you
videos.
can't be nice nasty with me, and I ain't
When you
gonna
go to
call you out on it. That
when
one
you go
thing
to
you don't
side
know
netter,
about me. If
when you
I
go to
see it
side
in
netter,
you, I'm gonna
when you go
call
to
it out.
side netter,
I ain't mad
I'm
at you.
gonna
I'm just saying, stop playing. You
when you
know,
go to side netter, I'm gonna
stop
support you.
playing, good brother.
When you go to Titan,
Your vibration is not God frequency, brother. Your
okay, brother,
vibration is low.
you you still young,
You
brother.
brought low
You still young,
vibrational
but
frequency
it'll come
into the
across,
deal.
brother.
So
Okay,
what
brother.
I'm saying is, good brother.
All right,
If
brother. I want
you,
to say peace and love, good brother.
peace and love,
I don't
good
want to
brother.
all right, peace and love.
Yes,
Peace and
sir.
love.
Keep it moving. Keep it moving. You know. So anyway, family, we finna lay it down. But I agree with you, brothers. This brother is definitely he's a nice, nasty type of individual. He wants to believe what he want to believe. He been taking shots every time I let him up on here. Just tonight I called him out on it. And he want to talk about, oh, you lost a debate with Tehudi. Bro, it's obvious you trying to get up here and bring things here that's nonsense, ain't got nothing to do with what we talking about. Ain't even address the subject matter that we talking about. Everything you saying, you trying to either attack the Moors or you trying to make an attack upon my character. You see what I'm saying? What you feel. Like, bro, that ain't what we demonstrate. And then when I ask you to tell us about what was being said, you don't even know. But you say what I'm demonstrating up here was dealing with division when I'm showing you that these brothers are 2 arrows shot from one bow. Yeah, we can't let ones come up in here with that note, and killing the vibration. I try to let the brother speak, but he made a couple of statements that wasn't right, wasn't correct. And I got to correct you on that. Anytime you on somebody else's platform, you honor their platform. If I correct you on something and say, brother, no, that ain't what it is, and I say, well, explain it, then he double down, and run away. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. And like I said, I kind of get that vibe too, brother. But one thing about me, I'm transparent, and I ain't got nothing to hide or none of that. I don't do nothing illegal, and I don't participate in anything illegal. So I don't worry about the other foolishness. But we do know that I ain't gonna let. Now I wouldn't draw with that brother, on no phone or nothing like that right there. Because the Quran say rank hatred has already appeared from their lips, far worse is greater is that which is within their hearts. And my vibration is telling me the same thing y'all been saying, family, the last couple of days when he come in here, but I've been trying to give him a pass. Y'all picked up on it from day one. I did too, but the brother, like, I like what you're doing, I like this, and all the while, you stabbing. You see, you stabbing. I ask you, show me where Levi H. Dowling was the author of that book. You can't show me. Show me where he spoke Sanskrit. Because you want to ask me what language it was revealed in. I say, obviously, the same language that he had it in. You believe that this European got this stuff from the Akashic records when he telling you it existed before he had it. Make it make sense now. I just showed all of this the other night. And he probably was watching that video then. So yeah, we ain't finna waste no more time. Every time I get on here, be a long drawn corner, and he go right when I be getting ready to lay down and let y'all get some rest. But yeah, we already see what it is. It ain't no pressure. I hope y'all enjoyed tonight's bill, and we give honors to our family, man. Everybody that want to see our people united, no matter what they believe, because I don't have to beat nobody belief system down, in order to demonstrate what I demonstrate. And that's what we talking about tonight. Unity, unity. So let me go out with this particular trike, and we're going to lay it down, and we'll be back in here again. Y'all already know what time it is. We bring quality information and sources. If you can't source up, like they say on Sonetta TV, shut up. Stop talking if you ain't going to bring no information back in what you're saying. Trying to low-key debate and act like you support. So let me do this real quick. Sir, good brother, you're going to love the book too when you go into it. Trust me. That's one of the greatest books written. And them Europeans, they be quoting from it. When they talk about the Moors, they own it, brother. I promise you. Like I said, I don't mind letting nobody come in here. You see, I didn't mute the brother out. I just want to get our family on the level of being. We got to be respectful and respect the bill. Chairman always talked like this. He said, if we talk about apples and oranges, don't you bring no nuts and bolts up in this demonstration. We talking about apples and oranges up in here. So, yeah, gratitude, J.A. Moore. And honors to our family, too. Let me address my family here. Everybody that tuned in, that stayed tuned in. Brother Born Dog, salute to you, good brother. Anti-American. One love to your family, man. Y'all, this is your house, too. Adrian Johnson Bay, honors to you. Honors to the brother that was on here, JJ. Honors to El Shah Bay Israel. Honors to you, good brother Israel. It's all love, family. Honors to our brother J.A. Moore. Y'all keep tuning in for this information. I'm telling you, I'm just scratching the surface right now. The best is yet to come.
I'm a stepper, I'm a slider, I'm all in. For my people, I'm a rider, I'm all in. I'm done appearing your provider until the end. And I put it on my family ties, I'm destined to win. I'm a stepper, I'm a slider, I'm all in. For my people, I'm a rider, I'm all in. I'm done appearing your provider until the end. And I put it on my family ties, I'm destined to win. Generational wealth, it brings freedom or death. But this is holy breath, so I'm freeing myself. I got knowledge of self and a hell of a breath. Keep a positive vibe, strategic when I step. You went against the grain and you slandered my name. Betrayed our sacred trust and brought us both shame. I'm talking pure pain. How could you envy me? I was my brother's keeper. How could you do this me? I heard your solid hits and all that sneak dissing. This is God's plan. You plotted but you missed me. So as I unfold, witness my success. I'm a phoenix in flight, fearless in the face of death. So while I'm still here, I'm apply this pressure. I know these devils jealous and my enemies are zealous. I keep my head on the swivel even though I'm really careless. This scimitar's for the beast, so don't get beheaded. I'm a stepper, I'm a slider, I'm all in. For my people, I'm a rider, I'm all in. I'm done appearing your provider until the end. And I put it on my family ties, I'm destined to win. I'm a stepper, I'm a slider, I'm all in. For my people, I'm a rider, I'm all in. I'm done appearing your provider until the end. And I put it on my family ties, I'm destined to win. Whatever happened to the love we open enemies? My only vision of unity is vivid memories. I used to feel that the struggle was the bond that made us brothers. Why must we fight on each other? In the end, we all suffer. Crabs in the trap, falling by climbing, reaching for freedom. But our future seeds are dying young, it's a shortage of leaders. I just buried my comrade, and he used to serve the people. Then I watched the people betray him and justify the evil. Even though the angels are present, demons are in the sky. They contemplate on my demise, and this I can't deny. My ministry of death is immortal love divine. The infant will of Allah in the seventh of the time. Last of a dying breed, but I'm willing to sacrifice. Yeah, these are trying times of affliction, many stripes. Every passion of my life is to be a living legend and lead my people to liberation, cause I was destined.
Yes, sir. We love you, family. Y'all already know what time it is. We're going to keep bringing this information, man. Y'all stay up. Be sure to hit the like, share, subscribe. We love you, family. Don't let nobody tell you nothing different. Islam. Peace and love.